I'm Zach McFarlane. We are here at the Palouse. This is a mic check. 1 2 1 2. Will Arthur, please do a mic check.
Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2.
All
Everything
right.
good?
Yep.
Good to go. Sweet. I'm gonna have to.
Boom. No.
Yep. Now we're on.
Boom. Or something. Why is it doing both? Yeah, you would just click that. So I think my microphone is 1 or 2.
Wait. Yeah. I can still hear myself. I think mine's on right now. You're one.
We're on. Just be like,
Then this is head.
This is a KUGR sports production.
Good pass down low to Airstrip, and he scores off the glass.
Giving you play-by-play coverage of all your favorite WSU athletics.
He doesn't get it! He's stuffing the line!
Football, basketball, baseball, hockey, and more.
Absolutely electrifying play from Washington State to get him right back in this game.
Follow us on YouTube at KUGR Sports to listen to every game live.
What a play! What a kill by Brewstad!
Never miss a moment with the best in the West. KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse.
Gets the Cougs on the board with less than 20 seconds remaining in this first period. Here come the Cougs.
And now, on to the game.
You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR.
A 70-degree breezy Friday afternoon brings us game 2 between the Washington State Cougars and the visiting Gardner-Webb Running Bulldogs. Yesterday, the Cougs took down the Dogs with a 3-2 win thanks to late-game heroics from Ryan Shawnsby. A new day, but the same teams. A chance for the Cougs to clinch a series with a Game 2 win next as we are here in the Palouse at Bailey Brayton Field. I'm Zach McFarlane. You're watching KUGR alongside Will Arthur today. And Will, we're kind of coming into this game, again, 3-2 win yesterday. Not a lot of different pitching we saw yesterday. What are the keys for the Cougs to possibly win this game?
The keys for the Cougs today, Griffin Smith to stay hot. He's had 3 straight games of good starts. And another key is we need Matt Stewart, or the Cougar offense, to get out to a hot start against Matt Stewart. His last start, a complete game shutout for the freshman. So getting the bats going early is going to be big to getting him out of there.
Yeah, and obviously we have in the lineup today, again, Trevor Smith hasn't started per se since March 17th. He's been in the lineup kind of pinch hitting a little bit, but it hasn't gotten the start, and he finally will for the first time in 3 weeks. How is that going to kind of bring the Cougars up, at least offensively?
Oh, for sure. That's their leadoff hitter, right? So anytime you can get that caliber of a hitter back, he's hitting 342 with a 1.008 OPS. That's the guy that's going to set the table for those big bats in the middle of the lineup today.
It should be interesting. We are just a few moments away from game time here. And again, a beautiful day, but the Runnin' Bulldogs aren't the only dogs in the park. It is Bark at the Park Day. I've seen quite a few down there on the concourse, Bulldogs, Corgis, you name it. They've all been down there, and they are ready for a ball game just like we are. Game 2, I'm Zach McFarlane alongside Will Arthur on KUGR coming up next. Don't go away. Washington State takes their home field. We are just about to get set to go underway again. Game 2. Washington State leading the series 1-0. They have another one tomorrow against Gardner-Webb and the Running Bulldogs, trying to even it up. But the Washington State Cougars trying to go 500 for the first time this season, at least since Game 2 of the year. That's something they have not reached yet. But again, we talk about players in the lineup, Morph. Why don't you give us kind of a look at what we're getting here for Washington State?
Yeah, behind the dish, we got Cam McLeod today getting the start today. This is a big moment for him. He's hitting eighth, see if he can get anything going with the bat, catching Griffin Smith. At first base, we got Ryan Shawnsby after a very strong game yesterday. Drove in the winning run in the 8th inning. At second, Gavin Roy making the move over to second from short. That's going to be a big thing to monitor over the rest of this season. At third, Ollie Obenauer, of course, holding down the hot corner. Kyler Northrup will get the start at shortstop today, the sophomore. And then in the outfield, we have Dustin Robinson in left. Trevor Smith, as we mentioned, getting the start in center, back out there today. And Max Hartman out in right field today with Dane Chavez, the DH.
And as we get set here, Merrick Carter will step up to the plate for the Gardner-Webb Running Bulldogs. And again, like you said, he'll go up against Smith on the mound. As we get going, we are officially underway, stepping in the box. Gets the sign and looks for release. Fires home and will be in there on the outside corner. First strike one, starting off on the right foot there for Smith.
It's going to be big for Smith to get started on the right foot early here. First pitch strikes are going to be big for him today.
Got to get in there early. Here's the 0-1 count. That one a little inside, maybe low, and that's down for a ball one and a 1-1 count. And yesterday, pretty even, at least in the hit category, 8-8. Both teams recording that many hits. And again, the Washington State Cougars win 3-2. Here's the 1-1 count. That one swung on and fired right to first base, and a fantastic catch made by Shawnsby for out number one.
Yeah, Shawnsby had plenty of Gold Glove level plays last night in the win. So first batter of the game here, he just keeps that glove looking like it's 10 times its actual size over there.
Who says third base is the hot corner? That one was coming in fast. Shawnsby was ready, the Long Beach Poly native, as we are set for batter number 2. And this one outside for ball one. Like you mentioned, it would be nice to get in there early, throwing strikes, get on the right foot. But now a 1-0 count to Cannell. Wind up and fires one toward the base. That again hit to right field. That ball's going to get down, and it's in fair.
Oh, foul.
And they're going to call it foul. Up here, it sure looks fair.
I thought that was fair, too.
I think the Gardner-Webb dugout is a little upset with the call. Surely from up here, that looked like it was inside the line.
I thought it was going to go foul, and I thought it landed on the chalk there. Cougs might catch a break there. Well, the umpires are coming together to talk about this one.
What a start. And the umpires, that call was made by Dale Luker, first base umpire, and they'll be joined by Stephen Craze, Joseph Finley, and Kyle Fecto, who are now in a conference about that call. And again, from up here, it most definitely looked fair, and it would be a double for Cannell if they choose to reverse the call. And I imagine the home plate umpire is really the only one that can. He would be the only other one to have an angle on the ball.
Are we going to go look at this? It
looks like we're having a phone call out there, and
thoughtful of the players to the umps had just been apart for not more than 2 batters, yeah. And they already get to come back together and have a talk.
How about that? And so now again, you get Smith kind of re-warming up here a little bit. Kind of a scary start. Obviously, you get the first out right away, but a good solid hit, and then that one was a nice shot down the line in right field. So obviously 2 quick contact for him and good hits all around. Not exactly what you're looking for the start. And again, we'll see if this double stands, or if I suppose the foul ball stands, or if it will be reversed to the double. As again, more conversation goes on between coaches and umpires here as we wait. It was a 1-0 count. 1 out here in the first.
The Michigan native Cannell definitely thinks he hit that one in bounds there. He is standing on second.
A lively crowd here at Bailey Brayton Field awaits the call. You start the game after a long wait, and then you get more waiting time here. And at this point, I'm not sure who is necessarily kind of reviewing this. You've got, again, some
They're
in conference.
Standing around, it looks like.
Yeah, it does look like that.
Maybe them.
And so now we wait a little bit more. I'm not really sure exactly what we are waiting on, other than, of course, the call.
Are they watching on a phone? They might be.
And it seems to be they're reviewing this, possibly on a phone.
Man, I hope they rule this foul. This would be huge.
A huge break for the
huge
Cougars.
break for the Cougs if that ball was 1 inch to the right or 1 inch to the left.
I mean, obviously, of course, from here, we have a pretty good vantage point, and even from here, it still looked like it was definitely inside the line, at least on the inner half of the white. And again, still, now we have a little bit of a phone call from one umpire, maybe from the same phone they were just watching.
Versatile device the phone is. Thank you, Alexander Graham Bell, right?
Useful technology, but maybe not so useful at the moment. We have not come to a conclusion just yet.
At least it's given the fans more time to get settled into their seats as people start to funnel in late.
I think both sets of dogs are getting restless, the running Bulldogs and the ones here at the park. You see many of them walking around, and again, not much else to be looking at the moment, considering still you have confusion out there and still an unanswered question.
I mean, there's probably only one angle at this, and it's probably not going to be too close. That was deep down the right field line there.
This is one of those levels where you don't get as much review as you would get in a national championship or possibly even the MLB, obviously, but you want to make the right call, and I guess that's what they're going for here, but it's definitely taking a good amount of time.
A while. At some point, the call's got to stand, and let's get some baseball going.
We've been through 2 batters, and we've now stopped for more time than we've been playing. So, again, still awaiting an answer.
Griffin Smith is pacing around the mound. He's thrown about 20 warm-up pitches, and I was like, well, I'm about as warm as I can get. I'm almost tired out here.
This is interesting.
Looks like they've come to a decision, or someone has.
Let's see. Yeah, we have the umpires now reconvening here, conversing a little bit more.
I cannot hear them.
We are unable to hear exactly what, but it looks like it'll be a foul ball as Cannell will come back to plate. And that, again, like you mentioned, a massive break for the Cougars.
Evening the count at 1-1, and Cannell is a dejected, slow walk from back from second.
He does not seem very happy. And so now an even count, 1-1 and 1 out, and he will reclaim left batter's box, and the righty will step in once more. And Griffin Smith takes his sign, and he will deal on the 1-1. That one, I thought possibly it hit him, but it looks like just maybe inside off the catcher's mitt. And so, again, it will be a 2-1 count. We will go one more time. That one, again, off the mitt of McLeod. Here's the 2-1 now. And this one, a high chopper sent to third base. Over to first. Got Shunsby with the grab. And a good play made by Ollie Obenauer to get the second out of the inning.
Great play there by Obenauer to be patient and time that ball on the bounce very nicely.
That was a high chopper. And you've got to be upset if you're Cannell. You get a really nice, what would have been a double, called a foul, and you just kind of forced to regain yourself and try and do the same thing, and ends up kind of rolling over a high chopper there to third base as the next count begins, and it's low for ball 1 on Kelvin Agosto, who has had quite a season thus far. 379 batting average for the junior. He's been incredible. And here comes the 1-0 from Smith. Fires that thing in there. It is popped up, shallow right field, and being tracked down and will be caught for the out.
Max Hartman makes the catch.
Hartman makes the grab, and that will end the inning. And what would have been a one-hit inning is now 0, and no runs for them as well. And I'm Zach McFarlane again. You're watching KUGR. We're going to go to a short break in between innings. Nothing for the Gardner-Webb Bulldogs. I'm joined by Will Arthur, and we will see you in just a moment. And again, shortly back here, Washington State looking to go on the offense now. Obviously, a nice start to the game for them. 0 hits on 3 batters. And again, like we mentioned before, getting a very great break in their favor on a possible double that was down the right field line, called foul, reviewed for quite some time. And then finally, they came to the same conclusion that they had already been at, which was that it was a foul ball. And whether that is right or wrong is neither here nor there. And we will get going here. And again, leading off for the Cougars is none other than Trevor Smith in his first start back in over 3 weeks.
Almost been a month without Smith, but you can't understate how important it is to get the star freshman back in the lineup for the Cougs. The guy's been an on-base machine this year, setting the lineup, the table for the big dogs.
No kidding. And 26 hits on 76 at-bats. And here is the first pitch. And that one is in there for strike number 1. And a good start for Matthew Stewart. And again, like you said, coming off a complete game of 2 hits just allowed. Other than that, he has had a little bit of a rocky season, maybe a little bit kind of in the middle there, as here's the 0-1 delivery. That one is low and in and swung on and missed for strike 2.
Yeah, Matthew Stewart comes in with a 6.88 ERA, but no kidding. A complete game shutout is no joke. So
no kidding. Anytime you pitch 9 innings is quite something. Now he delivers again. Here's the 0-2. This one swung on, hit out to left. Chasing is the left fielder there, and it will be caught. Kelvin Augusto making easy work of that, and 1 away against the Cougars.
Not a bad piece of hitting right there. Solid contact, just right to him. That's baseball.
And as well as, the approach there obviously changes. Your 0-2, and you're trying to swing at really anything in the region. And a nice solid contact, like you mentioned, out to left. But again, Augusto chases it down. Now we have the second AB, and that one low and away for Gavin Roy, who starts up 1-0 on the count.
The senior hitting 373 this year, so him and Smith at the top of the lineup have been quite the 1-2 punch.
And that is no inflation, considering he has had 118 at-bats. So he has just had a great year. Gets on base, about 47% of the time. He's been pretty incredible for this team offensively. So he's now up 2-0 on the count. Here's the third pitch. That one grounded foul. Getting a piece of that, and then moves to a 2-1 count. And again, 1 away in a scoreless contest here in the bottom of the first. Matthew Smith gets set and gets his pitch. 13 to go on the pitch clock. Here's the 2-1 delivery and a bunt laid down. Does he have it? Smith grabs it, and he's there. Incredible bunt from Gavin Roy, and he is aboard with 1 out.
Man, that was a perfect bunt laid right down the third base line. It looked like Stewart came off the mound a little unsure if he was going to make that play or if he was going to leave that up to the third baseman, Ilgenitz, but that little hesitation cost him there, and Roy will get on first.
Yeah, and a great bunt. Again, that was perfect, right in the spot that you need it to be. And again, you've got a man aboard. And he has attempted 4 stolen bases this year. He is successful 75% of the time. And here's another bunt attempt. This one ends up being foul. That was Max Hartman who got the bunt sign. Looking to play a little small ball here, the Cougs.
It's been a theme of the season. They love to bunt, and they are showing us why early in this one.
Small ball does do the job, at least sometimes in certain scenarios. And Hartman will face now an 0-1 from Stewart. There's a delivery, and that one a little bit out, at least for Stephen Craze's liking, home plate umpire. And now 1-1s across the board with the count and the outs. And again, you still have Gavin Roy aboard at first base. Hausner holding him on. Here's a pickoff attempt, and he is backing in there. Throw back to Hausner.
Gardner-Webb's third baseman, only with 1 error on the year. So it wouldn't seem as though the scouting report is trying to attack him with the bunts, but you never know.
And you see he's playing at the edge of the grass here, the green turf, if you will. Here's a steal attempt. This one hit and run, deep out to left field, back at the wall, and it's off the wall. Runners advancing second and third. They'll get it in, and what a hit from Hartman. Goes from bunt to the wall, and second and third runners in scoring position for the Cougs.
Wow. I thought that one had a chance. That was laced the opposite direction. Left field knew instantly that was over his head. With the runner in motion, I think Gavin Roy might have read that one a little wrong. It seemed like he hesitated around second base a little bit. I didn't see if he slid into second on the steal attempt, though.
I couldn't quite tell either. And maybe even he thought it was going to go out. I mean, it was right off the top of the wall. But nonetheless, we'll have Ollie Obenauer come in at the 4 spot for the Cougs, trying to get some runs on the board early. He'll ground one, a chopper to the left side, but it goes foul. And again, you have Hartman and Roy in scoring position, second and third, one away here in the bottom of the first. In a 0-0 contest, Gardner-Webb unsuccessful completely in the first inning, although they got good contact against the Washington State pitcher and Smith. Here's the 0-1. This one hit, and there's a line drive shot, and oh no, look out here, doubled up at third base. Gavin Roy unable to read the line drive, and that will end the inning.
That was unfortunate. Roy, I don't really know what he was doing. He saw that ball was going to get caught the whole way, and he just kind of kept on going home for one too many steps there.
And poor base running and just a mental error really from Roy, but we will step away from the moment. Again, 2 hits for the Cougs, but unsuccessful as far as getting home. I'm Zach McFarlane, joined by Will Arthur. You're listening to KUGR, and we will be back shortly for inning 2.
No, we're good. Back in action here at Green Field as the third baseman, Ilgen Fritz, will step up to the plate to face Griffin Smith in the top of the second.
You know, the Cougars would have really liked to get those runs in last inning. And again, a mental error from Gavin Roy getting doubled up at third base on a clear line drive to the shortstop.
Smith sets, and here comes the delivery. It is grounded over to second. Nice, easy play right there for Roy. And he bounces back after getting doubled up with a nice, easy, smooth play.
Yeah, and Roy, I mean, takes his time on the throw, kind of maybe even you could throw a crow hop in there. He had all the time in the world and a nice, easy play and a good confidence booster, at least to start the second inning.
First baseman Anthony Hausner at a towering 6'4", 250-pound steps up for the running Bulldogs. The pitch is taken for a strike right over the plate. A nice pitch right there to start off the at-bat from Griffin Smith.
Always want to get ahead, especially for Smith. They're getting a lot of contact on him.
The pitch is fouled off into the running Bulldogs dugout as some people go dodging out of the way. Set up an 0-2 count here for Smith. He's been setting himself up on the right side, first base side of the rubber here today. He sets, and the 0-2 pitch, here it comes. It's low and outside for a ball. Good take right there from Hausner.
Absolutely. An 0-2 count. I mean, your approach is swinging at anything close, and at the end of the day, you have to have a good eye still, and he does there.
Hausner with 11 walks to 15 strikeouts on the season as the pitch comes. That one is way high. And evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes apiece with 1 out here in the top of the second. The all-red uniforms for the running Bulldogs today versus the anthracite for the Cougs. The 2-2 pitch. Here it comes. It is sent to left center field on a fly ball. It is going to get caught out there by Dustin Robinson. Thought it might get down for a second, but he got over there and made the play.
He did. And again, one of the big heroes yesterday for the Cougars, going 3 for 4, had a a home run himself yesterday and 2 doubles, and he was the winning run yesterday in the 8th with Ryan Shawnsby sending him home off a double in the bottom of the 8th, and a huge, huge impact he has had in this series already, and a hero in the second inning.
The first pitch to the 6-hole hitter is fouled off. Daniel Smith, the center fielder, is up to bat.
Again, they're seeing him well. They're making really good contact. They're seeing the ball well. Again, they have had a little bit unlucky as far as where the ball has gone, but they're making great contact on him.
Yeah, Smith still looking for that first strikeout as the pitch is coming, and it is check swing. They check down to first. He says he goes. Dale Luker making his presence known early in this one with his second important call of the game already.
He has had 2 big calls already, and again, he has had quite an impact just 2 innings in here. Not even.
Smith settles in, begins his windup, looking for his first strikeout. The pitch, low and outside, gets past the catcher. No biggie.
That one came up real high on McLeod there, over the left shoulder.
There's been a lot of pass balls in recent games for the Cougs. I know that is something that has been present, so it doesn't matter when no one's on base.
That's
but
true.
If they get guys on, we got to make sure that's not happening. The 1-2 pitch is low and outside. Good block from McLeod behind the plate, evening the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes apiece.
And as someone who did catch in the past, obviously you still want to be a little bit ready behind the plate, even if no one's on, just to kind of be in that mode of go, go, go. But of course, it doesn't matter too much. You can be a little bit more relaxed when there's no one on.
Smith shakes off the sign from McLeod, gives him the nod, puts the glove up to the face, and fires in. It is taken high, a fastball, and that will drive the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs here.
You really don't want to lose Daniel Smith here. You really don't. Full count now from 0-2. You just want to get out of this inning.
Smith only hitting 192. This is not a guy you want to allow on base. The 3-2 pitch is fouled off. A good at here from Smith, putting up a fight.
Again, contact being the story of the game.
A little Smith on Smith battle here.
Which Smith prevails? We'll find out here on this next pitch.
Takes a deep breath, glove to the face, sets here. The delivery, it is up and in, and that's going to be a walk for Daniel Smith, who is 4 for 5 on the year on stolen bases. And the running Bulldogs, they like to steal, so we will see if they test the catchers of the Cougs early.
They definitely put the running Bulldogs. They do like to steal. Again, double the steals of what the Cougars have attempted, and they are successful quite often. But now first duck on the pond for the Bulldogs.
Right fielder Thad Ector steps up, the lefty, facing the righty Smith. He goes for a pickoff. It is just late, and he will be safe at first. Ector hitting 241, still looking for his first homer of the year. Another speed threat.
Luker stays busy over there first.
Yeah. The delivery is low for ball 1. Griffin Smith having some trouble executing those off-speed pitches early. He sets, now pitching out of the stretch. Another pickoff, and I don't think Daniel Smith was even off the base there.
I think he hardly was, if anything.
Clearly, the steal is in the mind of the WSU pitcher here early. 2 pickoffs as he sets out of the stretch. Lifts that front leg and fires. It's outside the steal attempt. It is a dime of a throw. They got him out by 4 or 5 steps right there. What a throw from McLeod. That might have even been a pitch out. What do you think, Zach?
That could have been. McLeod fired that thing in there, and not only did he fire the thing up, but he is fired up himself. He gets the out to end the inning, and that was beautiful. And he was picking him off for a reason. We know that now. 2 pickoff moves unsuccessful, but a steal attempt in there caught.
The man of the week will lead off next inning with Dustin Robinson coming up, followed by Shawnsby and Dane Chavez. Until then, this is KUGR. We will be back with you shortly. Welcome back to Cougar Baseball here on a lovely Friday afternoon as the man of the week, Dustin Robinson, will step up to the plate. The 6'4", 223 outfielder, the lefty, will step up, looking to do more damage as he did last night, Zach.
Yeah, and the cloud coverage is getting a little bit more and more. You got to hope there's no rain on such a beautiful day. It's been beautiful all week and can't end like this.
Stewart sets and fires home a low fastball for ball one. The Cougars threatened there in the first, but an unlucky double play, we can say, cost them that opportunity. But we'll look to get back on track here in the second. The pitch. Wow. Did not get the call there from home plate umpire Stephen Craze. That pitch had some movement.
No kidding. From back here, we had a great vantage point.
Yeah,
that thing went 6 inches out to in.
That was in the right-handed batter's box there and came almost touched the plate. The pitch, it is swung on and dribbled fouled on the first base line. First base coach makes a nice play. Doesn't throw it into the crowd, though. Tosses it to the dugout.
And Robinson, with only a 218 batting average, has had, at least recently, just a good experience at the plate. You got to wonder if he's kind of finding that zone of his, and now a 2-1 count he faces.
Yeah, and a hitter's count. This is the time to hunt a fastball and look to swing. That one's outside. Ball 3. 3-1 count now for Robinson. Going to get a pitch to hit here. Can he jump on over it? Maybe pitching around him a little bit after the day he had yesterday. What do you think?
I think you might be a little bit skeptical, obviously, but, with the pitching you have, you also could be confident as well.
The 3-1 pitch comes in. It is swung on and fouled off over towards the football field, back towards the parking lot.
Look out. Those cars are in deep trouble right there. That was smoked out in left foul territory. But, like I mentioned, you have the pitching here. You're confident. He's been confident recently, but, of course, so has the batter.
The 3-2 pitch. Stewart sets, fires. Lined up the middle. It's off his glove. It's dribbling. Robinson going to beat out the throw from the second baseman. Wow. I thought that was destined for center field, but Stewart got a glove on it. Not enough to catch it, though, and no play to be made there by the middle infield of the running Bulldogs.
What a scary scene if you're Matthew Stewart. That was a bullet coming right back up the middle.
No kidding.
He threw his glove at it. He got a piece of it, just not quite enough. Didn't get the grab. And Dustin Robinson able to kind of beat out the dribbler that ended up kind of towards second base for Cannell. And a good start to the inning for the Cougars. And 3 hits already.
Robinson sure is seeing the ball well, as are the Cougars. Yeah, 3 hits and a couple of not solid contact outs early. Ryan Shawnsby, the first baseman, steps up and takes a ball outside. Another one of those sliders. He's trying to backdoor the Cougs here. Has not got it to land yet, but that could be a good pitch if Stewart can figure it out and execute.
If he can place it, it's got great movement so far.
The 1-0 pitch comes in. It's another backdoor slider, and Stephen Craze behind the dish at home is not feeling lenient today on this Friday afternoon.
The zone is definitely not leaning outside at all.
Stewart really trying to catch that back door to the lefties. The 2-0 pitch to Shawnsby. It is a fastball, seemingly low. It was over the plate, and that will make the count 3-0. Will Shawnsby get the green light? What do you think?
I think you hold him here. I don't think there's any reason really. I think the pitcher's struggling right now. I think Matthew Stewart's in his head a little bit, especially with those sliders.
The 3-0 pitch is over the plate. Shawnsby does take it. But, yeah, like you said, he might be in his head. He's only a freshman. Pitching against a much bigger school here, it's got to be intimidating, especially against a team like the Cougs coming off a win against Oregon State on Tuesday, win yesterday. Like, the vibes are high. It's smashed to left field. The runner was moving. He's going to have to get back to second. He did not get the sign quick enough. The throw to first is going to not be thrown by the second baseman. Definitely had a chance to get Dustin Robinson, who seemingly fell asleep out there for a split second. Third base coach was yelling at him, though, as Shawnsby lines out to left.
The whole dugout was pointing and yelling, get back to first. Mental error so far from the Cougars, and almost another one that cost them there. Luckily, he's able to get back. And again, who knows if that's a hit and run scenario, if you're supposed to take that pitch. But again, I'm cool with taking that first strike. It was on the outside, but again, 1 out for the Cougars.
Dane Chavez at another pickoff as Robinson just gets back in before the tag from Hauser. As Dane Chavez comes up DHing today, it'll be a big day for the Cougs if Dane Chavez can get the bat going. Another pickoff, as they are seemingly worried about Dustin Robinson over there. Saw him try to steal once, and since then, 2 straight pickoffs.
He's only had 4 attempts. He's 50% on the year. Not sure he's necessarily the biggest threat on the base path.
The pitch, it catches the outside corner for a strike 1. 0-1. 1 out, runner on first here for Chavez. Chavez, the freshman from Kennewick, Washington. Just a short drive away. Another pickoff as Robinson beats it back again. This is not like the MLB, Zach, where you only get 2 before you got to get them.
Unlimited here.
Yeah. It's been a lot of pickoffs here early.
Yeah.
Stewart sets, fires home. Robinson dribbler up the middle. It is not going to be caught at second for the double play. Oh, no, they do give him the double play. They're going to say he got his foot on second there. Shortstop coming over to make that play and double off Chavez.
We're having more.
And we might have another review coming up here.
How
We're
about
averaging
that?
a review an inning here on this Friday afternoon.
Yeah, it looks like the head coach of the Cougars is going to come out and kind of argue this one.
I didn't think that he got that foot there either. Camarillo, it seemed like he was too far over to the right of the base there from our perspective to get his foot. But if the second base umpire saw him catch a toe on the bag, that's going to do it for the Cougs here.
You would think Kyle Fecto has the best vantage point, considering he is standing pretty much right there at second base. But again, you had kind of Joseph Finley at third motioning that maybe he was off the bag, and now more phone calls and probably a video review here. And again, another review, and maybe it'll be a lengthy one, maybe not this time, but
a couple more reviews, and these umpires are going to be eligible for a communications degree from Washington State here. Had the Murrow Symposium earlier this week, and now we have the umpires communicating back and forth with the dugouts early on here.
They can put that on their LinkedIn. Multiple conferences in one game.
Yeah.
And now, at least for Dale Luker, the attention's not on you. At least for the first time of the game, it'll be on Kyle Fecto at second here.
We'll see if Joseph Finley may get one later in the game. Get everyone involved.
Home plate umpire Stephen Craze is, of course, always under the microscope for the most part. So,
if this play does get overturned to just a force out at first, we will have Cam McLeod come up in the 8-hole, the catcher, who has 2 homers on the season, but only hitting 114 to start the season. Another reason it would be big if his bat can get going, kind of be that force in the bottom of the order to turn this lineup over to those big bats at the top and Trevor Smith and Gavin Roy.
Absolutely. And I think, finding catchers that are really good at hitting the ball is kind of few and far between, which is interesting considering they're constantly watching how the ball moves in their position. They're constantly fielding the ball. And so you would think it kind of gives them almost an extra perspective at the plate, but it seemingly does quite the opposite.
I'm thinking that their reviews, they're just calling into someone.
Well, in the NHL, they call up Toronto. That's the video review there. And of course you have everything for every league. And I'm not really sure where they phone here at this level.
Let's say they're phoning into Wenatchee right now.
Maybe Tri-Cities. Maybe they're phoning Kennewick right now.
Well, if they're phoning Kennewick, hopefully they give Dane Chavez, the Kennewick native, the benefit of the doubt here.
I mean, from here, it looked like he did not.
I didn't think he had it. But I didn't think he had it.
Again, we are fairly far away from at least the bag that is parallel from home plate.
It seems as though on a non-windy day, the wind might be picking up as I'm looking at the American flag. It seems to be waving out there in right center field.
Yeah, and it's becoming darker, and that's not because it's becoming more evening time. It's 4:40, and it stays light out now until about 7:30 or 8. So the cloud coverage is becoming more and more. And like I said, you better hope it doesn't rain. It's been a beautiful week, and you don't want it to end with rain, especially not in this game here, just getting started. And I don't think it'll be the same thing as yesterday, where we have a 2-hour game, considering the conferences we've had so far.
Well,
already taking about 15 minutes combined time.
Yeah, the pickoffs in the conferences themselves, we are going to be looking at about 2 hours here in about the 5th inning, I would say.
And we've played 2 innings in 35 minutes.
Averaging this. As more and more fans start to settle into their seats here at Bailey Brayton Field, it's a pretty good showing here on this Friday afternoon. Good weather. Classes are done for the weekend. Why not go catch a baseball game? especially when the Cougs are playing pretty well so far.
Absolutely. I mean, any chance you get, especially, I mean, athletics in general is big here at this school. You might as well get out and go enjoy a baseball game.
6-3 at home on the year so far. Not many games so far, especially when they started over spring break. There's only been about a week's worth of games at home.
Yeah, it's seemingly less home games than normal, at least so far. But, you know, the fans that thought they were going to come here and get a baseball game, came here and a TED Talk broke out between the umpires.
Yeah, TED Talk. That's a great way to put it, as we seemingly have a call coming up here. As the crew chief will announce. Can't hear him, but we will get an explanation here shortly.
And seemingly he's out.
He is going to be called out at second, as Mario must have dragged that toe on the base and fired that strike to retire the side. Coming up next inning for the running Bulldogs, it will be Zach Thompson, the catcher, Alan Camarillo, and then leadoff hitter Merrick Carter. We'll be back shortly with KUGR.
Back at Bailey Brayton Field, TED Talks are over from the umpires, at least for now, and we will get set to play baseball again. Top of the third, and coming up now to the plate for the running Bulldogs.
It's actually Thad Ector.
Thad Ector.
Forgot the caught stealing at the end of the second.
Yeah, and a great throw from McLeod as we will get underway here in the first pitch to Ector. That thing is smoked out to left field. This one down the line. Is it fair or foul? And ends up being in foul territory, but a good contact start for Ector in the box.
Yeah, Dustin Robinson with his lanky self almost tracked that down, but he just couldn't quite get there in time.
And Dustin Robinson, like you said, he's got a long reach out there. We will go with the 0-1 from Smith. Fires and delivers, bunt laid down, but that one caught the air and the mesh that separates the fans from the field, and quickly he's behind 0-2.
Both teams seemingly looking to play the bunt. Obenauer is playing way off the bag and way deep over there at third, seemingly sparking that idea.
There's the 0-2 delivery, and that one up for the first ball. The count now 1-2 here. And again, running Bulldogs still looking for their first hit. They've gotten on base via walk with one, and that was Anthony Hausner, and then he was gunned. So realistically, starting from ground zero here at the top of the third, and here's the delivery on the 1-2, and they will say it's up. I do believe that was the call. Nonetheless, it is a ball, and we'll bring up a 2-2 count.
McLeod behind the dish definitely wanted that one to be a strike. He held that glove there extra long.
Now we are even. Here's the twos. This one, again, skied in behind the booth here, and it'll be another foul ball. Ector staying alive.
Smith, not so much a strikeout pitcher with 2 Ks, 3 Ks, and 2 Ks in his last 3 starts, but it'll be nice to see the senior get his first to start off this inning.
He's been transferred from UNC in Charlotte as he chops one again foul, this time to the right side. And so he will get another crack at this one. Again, 2.41 batting average on the year. We'll see if he can poke the first one of the game for the Bulldogs or if we see the first strikeout. We got double twos again. That one inside and just two inside for the liking of Stephen Craze, and the fans disagree. But unfortunately, the only umpires that really matter are the four on the field, and especially the home plate one, Stephen Craze, and now the count is full. Smith fires and delivers, and that one is in there. Backwards K, mark it on the book. The first strikeout of the game for either team, and the Cougars will start the third inning with one out.
I think Hector got lucky there at least once, maybe even twice, but not going to get lucky on that fastball right down the middle that he does not decide to swing at.
3-2 count is difficult. You don't want to swing at something that's a clear ball. You don't want to strike out looking, and he does there. And this one is a huge drive up the middle. That is a beauty. And the first hit of the game for the Running Bulldogs will come from Zach Thompson, the senior catcher. On the first pitch, he jumps on it.
Yeah, the Mercer transfer right there didn't waste no time. Shot that one right back over where it came from into center field.
A textbook line drive right back up the middle. Away from Smith enough to where he didn't have to flinch or anything, but into center field and down for a base hit. Now you'll have the 9-hole hitter here in a block, and stealing attempt here, thrown down to the bag.
Got him.
Got him again. Unbelievable. McLeod, the block to the throw, and he's got him gunned at second, and it's out number 2. Again, more base running errors for the Bulldogs.
A lot of base running outs here early for both teams.
No kidding.
But that's the second caught stealing for the Running Bulldogs, as McLeod showing why he's in the game.
Alan Camarillo will send this one high and deep to right field, giving chase now on this one and making the grab easily. There is Max Hartman for a quick 1-2-3 inning, or at least it didn't go that way at first. It ends up being that way. One hit for the Running Bulldogs, and we'll be back with you shortly heading into the bottom of the third. Still a scoreless contest here at the Palouse. As we begin the bottom of the third inning, the Cougars again go back to the offensive side of the game, and starting is Cam McLeod, the catcher. He's been behind the dish, and he's thrown out 2 tonight on the base path at second base. One really good throw, one throw a little bit high, but gunned them both, as he will go against Matthew Stewart to start the inning. Stewart fires one in there, and it will be fouled away and shot backward for strike number 1.
Cam McLeod, the defensive player of the game so far for sure. See if he can change that to MVP of the game, if he can get the bat going here to lead off the inning.
And the 0-1 is in the turf, and that will even the count a bit, 1-1. And the junior from Vancouver, British Columbia, trying to get the 4th hit of the game for the Cougars and just start them on base. They've done that a couple times. Again, no luck as far as runs go. This one on the outside corner is, again, smacked. Will be fouled away for strike 2, and now behind is McLeod in the count.
The freshman Stewart will have his first opportunity to get his first strikeout with 2 strikes here.
We'll see if he can finish the count. The 1-2, the kick, and then to the right side and through in between first and second. And McLeod is aboard to start the third.
That's baseball right there. Not the strongest hit, but you hit it where they ain't, and you're going to have success in this sport. A little dribbler splits the second baseman and the first baseman and gives the Cougs a leadoff runner.
Not a bad start for the Cougars. And again, they've been seeing the ball well, as well as the running Bulldogs have. They've both been seeing it well, except the running Bulldogs only have 1 registered hit. They have not had as much luck as the Cougs. And now you have McLeod aboard and the kick and fire, and that will be a strike 1 to Kyler Northrup, the 9-hitter coming in and starting off the count 0-1.
A big hack right there from Northrup. He was trying to hit that thing up to the rec center on the hill.
The sophomore batting .241 on the season thus far. He'll find himself now smacking this one down the left field line, and it's fair. Rounding the bases, fielding one off the wall. This one thrown in. It's a double for Northrup. And again, second and third. This time, no outs for the Cougars. Runners in scoring position.
That is exactly what you want to see from the bottom of your order right there. The 8 and the 9. Setting up the top of the order with second and third, no outs. This is a massive opportunity for the Cougs to cash in with some runs here.
And now you've got Trevor Smith with his second at-bat. He lined out to first base last time around. Hausner got the better of him. And now an opportunity to get the first run of the game. Some RBIs available here.
Just looking to put the ball in play, get some contact, get this runner in from third.
Here's one. Smith sends it way out. Left center. This one will be tracked down by Augusto, but it will do the job. The Cougars will get a run aboard, but now going into third, he's safe. He slides in. Both men good. Cougars on the board first, 1-0. A job done by Smith.
Wow. I wonder if the umpires will look at this one at third base, as Tyler Northrup took a little bit of a risk there to try and tag from second to third on that fly ball to left.
I don't think it was deep enough to go.
Nathan Choate is out talking to third base umpire Joseph Finley. I just talked about Finley having his moment, and he almost had it right there.
I didn't think that was going to be deep enough for him to make the attempt to get over, but he does, and it's very successful. And now Kyler Northrup on third, and now up to the plate is Gavin Roy. And he will send one out to center field himself. This one giving chase now is Smith, and it will be caught, but again, a job is done. Cougars score both the runs on base, and it's 2-0 Cougs.
That's textbook baseball right there. You at the bottom of the order, come up, get on base, get a double, get in scoring position, and then your 2 best hitters just do their jobs, hit fly balls to deep center and deep left, and get those runs in. That is going to make Nathan Choate happy in the dugout. That is some textbook small ball baseball right there.
Laying down a bunt, and then, of course, putting it out to center field far away enough to make it happen, doing a job. That's what it's all about in baseball, doing your job, and Gavin Roy does that as well as Trevor Smith, and that will bring up Max Hartman. And a 1-0 count for him to start, and a ball low in the turf. Max Hartman, also from Canada himself. We'll get ready again for the 1-0 count. This one on the outside, and 2 out in the batter's box, and a 2-0 for him, and a nice lead in the count to start.
The good thing for Stewart is the bases are cleared now, so no more stress pitching to the 3-hitter.
This one is low, seemingly, possibly outside, and it will bring up a 3-0. And you got to wonder, do you give him the green light here?
I would give Max Hartman the green light here. I think 2 outs, why not? Let him hunt a fastball to hit for a homer. He does not swing.
As I say, that one looked to be pretty much down the middle, is probably what you'd want in a batting practice, but he holds off and now brings up a 3-1 count for the senior. Stewart kicks, delivers, and that's one off of Hartman. So ball 4 anyway, but that hit him big time. And he will strut down to first base, and they have a runner aboard with 2 outs.
Stewart getting a little wild here. He hasn't walked anyone, but he's been flirting with it. And finally, I mean, that would have been a walk, but hit batter, same outcome.
HBP for Matthew Stewart. And he, again, like you mentioned before during the pregame, you want to get on Matthew Stewart early. You want to jump on him. He has had success in recent games. But again, like you mentioned, if you jump on him early, he usually gets pulled. And you almost got to wonder, he's given up 5 hits and 2 runs. Nothing crazy, but they've definitely been seeing him well today. And you just got to wonder how much longer he will be in this game.
With yesterday, Oliver Ellison went going 8 innings and no need for the bottom of the ninth. That is a fully rested Gardner-Webb bullpen.
Will be fired back off the bat over everyone here in the crowd watching for an 0-1 foul.
Well, it'd be nice to see Ollie Oberauer break out of his little slump and come through with a nice 2-out knock here to keep the inning going for the Cougs.
Cougar third baseman in the left batter's box gets set the 0-1. They've got a runner going, and he's in there under the tag. Hartman has a stolen base, making him 11 for 12 on the year.
Nicely done there by Hartman. Really the only regular threat to steal bags for the Cougs, but he beats him there. And while Gardner-Webb does have 2 times the amount of bags the Cougs do, so far today it's 1-0 Cougs.
And the man up to bat right now is the only one in the starting lineup without even an attempt at stealing a base as he faces the 1-1 and chops it way up in the air and foul. Creating a 1-2 count, 2 away again, 2-0 Cougars off of 2 sac flies with runners in scoring position back to back. Doing the job so far as the story of the game for the Cougars, despite mental errors on both sides of the ball. But that's the story of the game for both teams in that sense. The 1-2 now delivery to Obenauer, out and away for ball 2. The Let's Go Cougs chant breaking out. There's 222s on the scoreboard here in the distance left field. A delivery from Stewart. Hums that thing in there, and it's a line out to Hausner at first base. An easy grab for him, and that will end the third inning. 2-0 Cougars, and a good offensive showing for them. They get on the board first with 2 sac flies. I'm Zach McFarlane, and you are watching QGR. I'm joined by Will Arthur, and we will see you shortly for the 4th.
As we enter the top of the 4th here in Pullman, Washington on this Friday afternoon, Griffin Smith, calm as a cucumber out there on the mound. As the leadoff lineup turns over to the leadoff hitter, Merrick Carter, the DH today for the Running Bulldogs. Here's the pitch. It is smashed right center field. Hartman is looking up, and he's going to give up on that one. And as that one leaves the park into the parking lot in right center field, as Merrick Carter hits his 7th home run of the season, and to be honest, that one never really had a doubt.
And a little bit of a kind of hesitation step as he goes around third base. That one was crushed, and again, no doubt about that one. Max Hartman, all he could do was watch it go. And what felt like a no-hitter, despite it not being a no-hitter, seemingly broken up here. They've been pretty dominated, at least defensively, and that is a good start to the inning for them.
The first pitch to the 2-hitter is dribbled over. It's going to be played by Northrup. A strong throw to first beats the speedy Kennel to get the first out of the inning.
A good recovery there from the Cougs, just able to make the play, get him out. Jumps on the first pitch. Cannell cannot beat the throw there, though, from Northrop. And an easy play over to Shawnsby. And now, again, you got your pitcher's confidence back a little bit, able to get the first out right away after giving up a home run.
Both those hitters, second time seeing Smith and swinging away, first pitch, putting the ball in play. As Kelvin Agosto, the star hitter for this Running Bulldogs team, takes a strike on the outside corner. I don't know if he thought that was a strike. The 379 hitter playing left field today, very crouched batting stance, will take the second pitch and swing and foul it off onto the right side, onto the berm.
That first pitch had a lot of movement on it. Looks like maybe some sort of cutter there. It kind of moved from the middle of the plate to the outside. Really good pitch, good movement. Now you got him in an 0-2 hole.
The 0-2 pitch is swung at and chopped. That was way outside, but Smith might have Agosto on his heels here. Down 0-2, 1 out in the inning. Agosto, a graduate from the Carlos Beltran Academy in Puerto Rico. Kind of a cool story. Ended up here in Gardner-Webb.
Out of North Carolina, Gardner-Webb, and again, that's their guy. This is the guy to strike out if you're the Cougs.
The 0-2 pitch is swung on, popped up left field, ranging over to it is Hartman. Nearing the line, he makes a jumping catch and fires it back into second for the second out of the inning.
Easy grab for Hartman there and right.
I'll take the blame for that homer. I said he was cool as a cucumber, and Merrick Carter did not like that one.
The overcast weather might have spoiled the cucumber there. Yeah.
Carter did line out to first and hard in that first at bat, so he's clearly seeing Smith well. It's the cleanup hitter, third baseman Matt Ilgenfritz will step up to the base. He grounded out to second his last time, and this time he shoots one back up the middle. Is not going to hang up. It's going to drop down in front of Trevor Smith out there in center for a 2-out single.
And coming into this inning, they had 1 hit and again 1 walk, and now they're up to 3, and they've got a run obviously with the home run. They've been seeing him well, but now they're clearly putting 2 and 2 together, able to find the gaps and even find it over the wall occasionally. And again, now you've got to wonder what's going on in the bullpen for the Cougars, and if somebody is up and moving around just yet here at the top of the fourth, I beg your pardon.
The big first baseman, Anthony Hausner, will step into the box to face Smith for the second time. Smith sets, breathes, delivers. It is swung on again. It's a little dribbler. It's off his foot, and Hausner is down. Oh, but he's right back up. It looked like he was in some pain there, but shook it off like nothing.
It did. He looked like maybe he got a stinger. I mean, obviously off his front foot, so it seems.
All 5 hitters this inning have swung at the first pitch, as Stephen Craze is asking for more balls from the Cougar bat boy. But also to give Hausner some more time to shake off that foul ball.
Absolutely. And again, standing at a big 6'4", 250, you're probably not going to get hurt too easily if you're Anthony Hausner, and he shakes that one off a foul ball right off his foot.
The senior from North Carolina back in his home state. A pickoff attempt, no contest. Ilfengretz is back standing. Hausner played at the Citadel last season, but now is at Gardner-Webb. Looking for that first homer of the season, Hausner is. Griffin sets. Fires in. The 0-1 is low for a ball. Smith is an efficient worker. He seems to like to get in a groove and just get through keep it at an efficient pace, get through the hitters.
Absolutely, and change the eye level as well. I mean, we've seen quite an array of pitches and locations as well.
The 1-1 pitch. Smith fires. It is swung on and fouled down the left field line. Decent contact. A little late there from Hausner. Wonder if he was sitting in off speed there.
I know those cars out in the parking lot are taking a beating today. There's been a lot out here fouled off back toward the left in the parking lot. Hopefully, if you're listening here, you didn't park out there.
I sure hope not. Smith checks the runner at first. He's dancing around over there. He sets, takes a deep breath, fires the 1-2. It is fouled off again over towards the parking lot.
That one might hit Beasley Coliseum over there. That one was smoked, but again, well foul and just staying alive, Hausner.
Good thing we walked.
No kidding.
1-2 count, 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. Smith fires. It is swung on and missed. A filthy off speed McLeod's going to fire down to Schonsby, and that's going to retire the side. Smith's second K of the inning. But the running Bulldogs do snag one on a homer from Merrick Carter as the Cougs will come up with a one-run lead in the bottom of the fourth, looking to extend that lead. Welcome back to Cougar Baseball on KUGR as the wind continues to pick up here, blowing out towards right field. And Dustin Robinson, the lefty, has an opportunity to put a ball in that jet stream and let that thing fly over towards the tennis courts for a homer this at-bat. It'll be Robinson, Schonsby, and Chavez due up this inning to face Stewart.
Yeah, and again, we've talked about this a little bit before, but the elevation here does definitely help the ball fly a little bit way up in the mountains here in Pullman. So you got to wonder if Cougars can try and get some home field advantage and try and send the ball over the wall.
Robinson with 2 home runs on the season. Will be a great time for his third. One yesterday. Why not make it back-to-back days with a bomb?
Again, Matthew Stewart still on the mound for the Bulldogs. He's at an ERA this season of 6.88, and today he's given up 5 hits and 2 runs so far, both on sac flies last inning.
Robinson led off the second inning with a liner off Stewart's glove for a single. Stewart will set and fire the first pitch of this inning into Robinson. He swings away and hits a fly ball center field deep, but controllable for the center fielder, Smith, and that will be a fly out to start the inning for Robinson. Another aggressive at-bat for the Cougs. Both these teams are swinging away early.
Yeah, they are wanting to hit. There's definitely no wanting to walk here for either side of things. The Cougars have had a little bit more success at the plate as far as placing the ball within the field. But again, both these teams want to hit the ball, and that is apparent, although it's only 2-1.
As Ryan Schonsby comes up, he's been hot lately. First pitch is taken for a strike right over the middle. Schonsby and Robinson both used to play at Cypress Community College and now have come to WSU to play together, following each other in the order. Schonsby hitting 300, 3 homers on the season. Stewart fires in, trying to get that backdoor slider again. Not going to get the call again.
Hasn't gotten it all day, not once.
I don't know if he's missing outside a little bit or if Craze is just not a fan of that pitch.
You got to wonder.
The 1-1 count. It is low, taken for ball 2 by Schonsby.
You got to wonder if he just puts that pitch in the back pocket and he's done with it, or if he's just going to keep trying it every once in a while.
It seems like it might be he's using it to set up a lot. I think he likes using that early in counts. The 2-1 pitch fired in. It is chopped. It is going to trickle foul down the third base line. Thought that might have had some spin on to come back fair, but did not on the turf. If that's a dirt field, that ball is definitely coming back over.
Absolutely. I thought maybe Ilgenfritz was actually going to have to make a play on that. Could have bounced foul from foul to fair, but again, no luck in the turf.
Evens the count at 2 strikes and 2 balls here to Schonsby. Flew out to left field in his last at-bat. Stewart fires in. Schonsby shoots it foul. That was ripped foul.
Good thing there's mesh kind of protecting the fans. That thing was smoked over the Cougar dugout over there in the left half of the foul territory. Man, that thing was crushed.
Putting up a good at-bat here, Schonsby is against the freshman Stewart. Stewart's going to set. He's going to fire the 2-2 in. It is outside for ball 3. Schonsby drives the count full. Something I've noticed is Stewart's mostly on this third base side of the rubber, while Griffin Smith on the Coug side is on the opposite side of the rubber.
It is interesting to always see what pitchers prefer and like
The full count is hit, and it's a little, drops the barrel to the bat, hits a nice single back up the middle. What an at-bat from Ryan Shawnsby right there is he stays hot.
And that's just a great at-bat from Shawnsby. Fouls off everything close, takes the balls that are outside the zone, and then he's able to just poke one out to center. That is a beautiful at-bat from him. And with one out, you get one aboard, and now you give the Cougars bottom half of the batting order a chance to possibly get on the board a little bit more for the Cougars, trying to extend the lead, get them a little bit of insurance here.
The freshman from Kennewick, Dane Chavez, back up, takes ball outside. Grounded into that double play with the review earlier in the second inning to end that inning. Let's hope he does not do that again here. Shawnsby takes his lead on first. Stewart checks him. Delivers to home, though. That is hit, popped up, fouled on the third base line. No play for third base or left field, though, and it'll even the count at 1-1. Big foul territories here at Bailey Brayton, especially down that third base line.
Without a doubt. You've got a lot of room to make a play over there if need be, but so far, no plays have been able to be made out there.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth as the freshman comes set, picks off, and easy back in there for Shawnsby. Shawnsby not really a threat to run. 3 for 4 on the season with stolen bases. But everyone's been running today, so you never really know. Stewart's going to deliver to home. It's a bunt. He's going to get it down. It's going to trickle down the line, just barely foul. Pretty solid bunt there. Just couldn't get it to come back fair.
That was almost beautiful.
Needed like 1 foot, maybe 1 foot, probably 6 inches to the right there, and that was going to do it. He might have even got on first there.
He would have for sure, I think. Yeah, that would have been on just right on the outside of the paint, just enough for Dane Chavez, but unfortunately unlucky, and now faces him a 1-2 count.
Yeah, 1-2. Stewart sets, goes for another pickoff. Shawnsby was leaning a little bit, but he gets back in there. Good job from the Cougar dugout, being vocal, paying attention to the game, yelling back. It does really make a difference, even if it doesn't seem like it would.
No doubt. And Shawnsby, the only one who has played all games and started in all games.
Another pickoff over to first. Shawnsby with a look up at his first base coach, like, are we serious? Not really a threat to run, but Stewart is clearly concerned with him here. Settling in now. Stewart looking over. Going to come home. 1-2. It is fouled off down the first base line. A sharp hit grounder by Dane Chavez.
And a fake steal attempt there from Shawnsby there at first. He acted like he was going to run and then held off on the foul ball.
Maybe some mind games, would you say?
Absolutely. You're trying to get you're trying to get the catcher off his game a little bit, and I think they're trying to get to the head of Zach Thompson.
Stewart checks to sign another pickoff here. That is 4 pickoffs in this at bat. Chavez has got to be thinking, man, I've been in this box for almost 4 minutes now, and it's still 1-2.
And Shawnsby came out to play a baseball game. He's practically swimming out there in the turf.
Stewart comes set, fires home. It's going to be fouled again over towards Beasley Coliseum over there down left field line.
Must be a magnet there.
A good battle here from Dane Chavez, the DH today, 5'11", 170, the freshman. Probably got some family at the game, you would think.
Absolutely.
Come in for the weekend. 1-2. Stewart fires home again. It is going to be dribbled through the hole on the right side. Will Shawnsby make the turn to third? Yes, he will, and he will get there without a throw. That ball was not hit hard, Zach.
That thing was a poke.
I think Shawnsby stole, and the second baseman went over to cover a little bit because that ball was just dribbled there slowly.
I think so. I think you had Cannell cheating there. I think for sure he was cheating kind of toward the middle, maybe a little bit of double play depth, if you will. But again, that thing is a thing of beauty. That at bat, back to back, great at bats from the Cougars, and able to get runners on the corners with only an out. And now you've got the first visit to the mound.
First visit to the mound for the running Bulldogs, as the manager makes a slow walk out there. Definitely not going to win any 100-meter sprints moving like that.
Taking his time, and you wonder, probably at least this one just being a meeting, just catching up with his pitcher, seeing how he is.
Someone is tossing down there in the Gardner-Webb bullpen. Cannot see who it is, but this could be coming to the end of the line here for the freshman Matthew Stewart. Definitely not going to go 9 today like he did in his last start.
Not quite. Obviously, he's given up 7 hits and only 2 runs, but that could be more to come here. The Cougars are in a really good spot to get more on the board. And now you've got Cam McLeod up.
First and third one out for McLeod. You know, this is the part of the order that did the damage in that third inning. McLeod with the single, setting the table. Northrop on deck here. He had a double to bring in some more runs for the Coug and build this lead.
More than to start the game 2 for 2 after obviously having the lowest batting average coming into the starting lineup today for the Cougs.
It'll be interesting to see if Dane Chavez tries to steal here. He's 2 for 3 on the year. The middle infielders are hugging second as the pitch comes in from Stewart. It is low and inside, almost hits Cam McLeod. So that will be ball 1 to start this at bat.
And the movement on the ball there, I think, saved an HBP. That was surely coming right at him.
A pickoff here to first is Stewart is thinking what I was thinking, that Chavez may be on the move here. This might set a record for most pickoffs in a game here we're on pace for.
You think Dale Luker's arms are getting tired over there?
Dale Luker is throwing up a lot of safes today. Stewart looks in. Another pickoff.
Jeez.
Kind of saw that one coming. He took a much longer pause there coming set.
You're even getting some shrugs over there from Chavez.
Yeah. These guys on base have been the targets here this inning. He's going to come home this time, and it is swung on and missed, and his elbow guard comes flying off of
Not the
swing.
Evo shield.
Not the greatest look for Cam McLeod. He's going to have to put that one back on.
And he's trying to hit another double because first base is not the place to be.
Not the place to be. They do not want to be on first. You're going to have to be doing a lot of chest to floor. Another pickoff here.
Right on cue.
As Stewart might set a record himself.
Maybe I have to call up the MLB and ask what their ruling is on that. And I have to get that applied here to this level.
Definitely going to apply Nathan Cho, head coach, definitely going to write in a letter as he's going to come home this time. It's going to be swung on and fouled off. Making this count 1-2. 1 out, first and third here in the bottom of the fourth for the Cougs. A major moment in this game. Close game so far, but with the top of the order coming up, you have a chance here to really build on this lead and have a big inning.
It'd be real nice if they obviously could even get the runner home. McLeod, maybe some sort of single here. Nothing crazy. Doesn't have to be anything crazy, but you don't want to strike out here.
Stewart comes home again. It's going to be low and outside, and the runner Chavez is moving. No throw to second. Easy stolen base right there for Dane Chavez. Send up second and third now with 1 out. Now Cam McLeod just needs to put this ball in play, and the run will come home.
And you got to think Matthew Stewart's probably even a single away from getting pulled here.
I would agree with that. The Gardner-Webb's got a guy tossing. Second and third. Here's the delivery. The infield is in. That's going to be outside. Gardner-Webb catcher tried to frame it, but he just could not bring it in enough for home plate umpire Stephen Craze's liking. As we now count goes full. 3-2, 1 out, second and third.
We know he doesn't like it outside.
He does not like it outside to either side of the batter. The pitch comes in. It's going to, it's inside. It's going to bloop down in center field, in the infield, but beyond the drawn in infield, they're going to test the center fielder's arm at home. He's going to be out by him. Oh, he gets in there. What a slide. I thought he was hosed.
He was hosed.
He should have been hosed. What a slide from Dane Chavez. A little swim move. All that swimming at first base got him ready. Slides in with a nice slide. Got that hand in, and that is definitely going to be on Thompson's mind there.
And we're getting a little challenge here, I believe.
Another challenge, the Gardner-Webb, and you almost have your per-inning umpire conference.
Here we go. They're 1 inning behind, though. They're going to have to maybe get 2 in the 8th or something at this rate.
I mean, that was another not very strongly hit ball there, but with the Cougs drawing that infield in onto the grass, that ball landed on the dirt.
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
Turf out there, but the infield, the brown turf.
Would have been an easy grab normally.
Yeah.
On a normal infield setting, it would have been an easy catch. But, of course, like you said, the infield was in. They were targeting the runners in scoring position, and that's all you need to do. A little Texas leaguer over the top of the infield. It does a job, and, of course, a beautiful slide at home. But now a little bit of disagreement from Gardner-Webb. They don't think that that's what happened.
I mean, at first, I thought he was hosed. He was about 2/3 up that line when that ball got to the catcher. But I did think on that slide, I thought he got his hand around that tag.
I agree. He was beat. He was dead to rights 100%, but he did get that right arm around, I do believe.
He might have ran through a stop sign from the third base coach.
No, he was sending him.
He was sending him?
Yeah, he was sending.
All
He was sending him, which is interesting.
An aggressive send.
Yeah, it was.
Send.
It was in shallow center. It was definitely an aggressive send,
especially with one out. But we'll see what the umps have to say as they are on the third call, like an annoying ex-girlfriend.
In the coach's box over there, trying to figure things out.
Gonna have to figure out how to score this one.
Well, you can write
CONF. Shawnsby definitely scored
for the third
that one's coming
umpire conference of the game.
Yeah, third umpire conference of the game.
Might be a record. We're gonna go on a record here. I think they're 1 inning behind. Like I said, they might have to double up in the fifth.
As that will for sure be Tyler North. No matter what this call is, will be coming up to the plate. But will it be 1 out with the runner on first or 2 outs with the runner on first?
We've had conferences at home, conferences at first. Are you going to get one at every base, you think, by the end of the night?
I mean, we might have a conference out there in left field by the end of the night at this rate.
Little Dodgers, Blue Jays, Game 7, stuck in the wall. Is it stuck in the wall? Is it not stuck in the wall?
Yeah, the only base we're missing now is Joseph Finley at third. We thought we might get one in that third inning, which would have been unreal to have 4 conferences at 4 different bases in 4 innings.
Hey, we still could. It still could happen.
The Cougs have definitely done a good job of executing that key to the game we mentioned pregame of jumping on Matthew Stewart early. I wonder, Zach, do you think this could also be the running Bulldogs ask them to look at this in a move to get their guy more time to warm up in the bullpen?
That's a good point. I think it could have. I don't think it really hurts them to ask. Obviously, the reviews are pretty lengthy from what we've seen. So, obviously it's giving your guy more time in the bullpen to get some throws in, get right. And obviously, I think if this stands as safe, you'll definitely see Stewart, I think, leave the mound. And it looks like we may have an answer to this finally. And now we will
whispering. Maybe they disagree with the call. Are we going to get an overturn
secretive
here?
Well,
the home plate umpire whispers something to the crew chief.
And now time to not hear him for the third time and just read what the players do here.
Yeah. Well, they won't be coming off the field here, so we're going to have to watch the scoreboard. Do one of these. You have to listen to the crowd. He is safe at home. I did think he got his hand around that tag. That is an outstanding slide from Dane Chavez, man. He was dead to rights. That was a great throw from the center fielder, Smith. The native of Cummings, Georgia, with a strike to home, but it does not matter because Dane Chavez gets that arm around and slides in safely.
Yeah, not even a bad tag from Zach Thompson either. Just a great slide.
Great play all around.
Able to read the glove and just kind of wrap the arms around, get the right arm on there.
We got some yelling at the home plate umpire here from the Gardner-Webb manager. Home plate umpire is telling him to chill. Are we going to see an ejection?
We very well could.
I know the Cougar faithful want to see it.
I think this crowd would erupt if they got an ejection. But, of course, now we get the thumbs up from the head coach.
The home plate umpire is telling him, man, it was a review. That was
as he emphatically puts the masks back on. He looks a little upset.
Stewart's going to stay out here.
It could be boiling here. We could be reaching a boiling point possibly at some point.
Stewart is going to stay out here. The first pitch to Northrup is hit high, right center field. Smith is ranging over. He's going to settle under this one. Makes the catch. And McLeod will have to return to first base as there's now 2 outs in the inning.
I think one thing that gets overlooked as far as fly balls and the overcasting is the ball tends to actually blend in with the clouds sometimes. It can be really hard to track on an overcast day.
Definitely is. You can definitely see the wind pushing a lot of these fly balls over, especially if they're going to center or right field. They are taking those outfielders with them with that wind.
Perhaps Merrick Carter got some help on his home run.
Definitely possible as there's a first pitch ball to leadoff man Trevor Smith back up here, 2 outs. He came up with a sac fly in his last plate appearance. Looking to continue this Cougar inning. McLeod on first, gets his secondary lead. That's another ball inside, 2-0 now to Trevor Smith. looking to get on base for his first time back. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. The Cougars have plated 2 runs to extend the lead to 4-1 over Gardner-Webb today. Smith's going to chop that one foul down the first base line. 2-1 now. Are you surprised that they have left Matthew Stewart in
Absolutely.
here to face the top of the order for
100%.
another time?
Especially because you had all the time to warm up your bullpen with the challenge, and then you usually I don't see why you leave him in. Maybe they're looking at the 0-2 start for Smith on the day, but I don't get it.
Especially with a rested bullpen, as that one is popped shallow left field. It's going to be a play. It's in the middle of nowhere, but the left fielder is going to get there and make a play to end the inning. The Cougs do get 2 runs on 3 hits, 3 straight singles from the 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the order, plating 2 runs, extending the lead 4-1 as we go to the top of the 5th. You're listening to WSU Baseball on KUGR.
We are back here, Bailey Brayton Field. The Cougars coming off back-to-back 2-run innings to make it 4-1, and currently already reaching their hits of what they did yesterday. 8 hits on the day, and Gardner a little bit more in that category. Only 3, but a home run is what's put them on the board. And the first at bat here, and it will be out and away from Griffin Smith.
Griffin Smith walked Daniel Smith in his first at-bat.
Man from Cumming, Georgia. 1-0 count. And again, that one is on the outdoor spot for a strike. And we'll even the count up here. And of course, Griffin Smith definitely in a much better spot than Matthew Stewart. He will probably stay in the game quite a ways longer than him. And this one roped out to left field, but well foul. That one into the Cougar bullpen, and now chasing after it are the guys in there.
That was smashed. Probably their hardest hit ball of the day right there from Daniel Smith. He has a nice athletic stance, blue and green bat.
Here's the 1-2. That one in the turf, and a good block there from McLeod. And again, no one on, so the block isn't necessarily – you don't need to do it, but of course, protecting the umpire and the home plate there, Stephen Craze. Now an even count. Smith steps back in the box. Smith on Smith. In a 2-2 count, kicks and delivers on the outside. Flew out to right field, going foul. Shonsby after it, and again, bullpen to bullpen. That one off the outside of the Gardner-Webb bullpen. And again, a 2-2 count. We will replay.
No play there for Shonsby. Thought he might have had a chance to track that one down, but it eventually left the field of play. Can't do nothing with that 10-foot fence over there on the first base side. Unless you want to go full Ken Griffey Jr. That would be nuts to see from Shonsby.
Only so many walls you can climb, and that's not one of them. The 2-2 again. That one sent out to left center field, and ranging over to grab that one, making the catch there is Smith for the out.
Thought that one at first, thought it was going to get down in the gap, but Smith ranges over. It kind of hung up a little bit. Wonder if the wind may have kept that one from cutting away from him.
And Smith obviously proving to be a very popular name today. 3 different Smiths we have seen, 2 on Washington State, 1 right there. And in fact, Smith pitched to Smith, and he flew out to Smith.
A little dribbler here to Ollie Openor. He's going to sit on it, make a nice play, and throw out that after running the first. That is a great point. We just might have had the first ever same name, bang, 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 pitcher, hitter to recording out.
How about that? Smith to Smith to Smith, and it all ends up being an out, and then Ector follows up with a chopper to third base. He is gunned right there, and a good play by Obenauer, and again, 2 outs. And quickly, I think Gardner-Webb, this game is getting away from them a little bit.
Mm-hmm. They need to get something going here to not let the Cougs get back in that batter's box so quickly.
They are on fire, and you want to have a bit of a longer inning to break up that momentum, but they're going to go out on a 3-up, 3-down here if they're not careful, and it is up to catcher Zach Thompson to try and change that for GWU. And a ball on the outside will even the count at 1-1 and 2 away here in a 4-1 ball game. The Cougars up here in the top of the 5th.
Zach Thompson, the Mercer transfer, got the first hit of the game for the running Bulldogs. Ooh.
That one low, so it'll go to a 2-1 count. And like you mentioned earlier, a bit of a hitter's count here. And despite a more experienced lineup for Gardner-Webb, having 5 seniors in their starting lineup, they continue to struggle. That one on the outside, evening up the count again, 2-2 and 2 away.
That was really a nice pitch by Griffin Smith. He has been dotting that outside edge of the plate, getting those calls that Stewart has not been able to today.
And Craze has been reluctant to call out on the outside, as here's the 2-2 again. Fires that one deep into right center field, giving chases Hartman. Back at the wall. Wow. Kiss it goodbye. Zach Thompson has cut the lead to 2, and he homers out to right field for the second one of the day for GWU.
I did not think that one was going to get out. I think the wind, which is keeps picking up, that flag is keeping whipping harder and harder. Definitely gave that one a little bit of an extra boost, I would say, out there in right field.
It's been helpful, and what's interesting is no lefties have been helped by it. Normally, that would be a huge thing for them. It's been 2 opposite field home runs, and this one is off of the bat for a foul. And again, that's exactly what you want out of Zach Thompson right there in that moment, trying to just break up some of the momentum that the Cougars had. Looked like they had them dead to rights, and just to get on the board, cutting the lead to 2 is huge for them.
Gets them back in this.
This one is a chopper left side and will be foul through the coach's box and brings up an 0-2.
Also either sets up the next inning to start with the top of the order, or for this inning to continue with the 9-hitter. If the 9-hitter gets on, the top of the order will hit this inning with a guy on base.
Without a doubt, there's not been a lot of strikeouts today. Stewart for the Bulldogs had none, and here's the 0-2 for Smith. Flew all the way out left center field, and ranging over for Washington State is Robinson to grab that one and end the top of the 5th. The Cougars with a good defensive performance, but not before giving up a home run to Zach Thompson, their second of the day, their second run of the day, and they have closed the lead to 2. 4-2 Cougars heading to the bottom of 5 when we come back. You're watching KUGR. We're back at Bailey Brayton Field, 2-3-4. Gavin Roy, Max Hartman, and Ollie Obenor coming up for the Cougars. And Gardner-Webb has, of course, taken out Stewart as we expected, and they will turn to the Shelby, North Carolina native Colby Putnam, I beg your pardon, as he doesn't start off on the right foot with a ball.
Yeah, Putnam here, 3.94 ERA on the year. Another freshman, a team that only has 4 freshmen, and we've seen 2 of them so far today.
Yeah, very experienced Gardner-Webb team, at least comparative to the Cougars. 17 seniors, at least in the lineup that we were given in total, 5 starting and 12 on the bench, and a good recovery there to get the 1-1 count, and then this one thrown outside for ball 2.
Putnam seems like a long reliever here for Gardner-Webb. In 10 appearances on the year, he's totaled 32 innings, 27 strikeouts, and a 3.94 ERA.
Here's the 2-1 delivery. This one's sent out to center field and will be ranging back to grab that, and an easy catch made by Smith for out number 1. And again, on going off the Smith train, you got a Smith in center field on each team. I think, like you mentioned that before the game, lots of Smith action going on here.
No doubt about that.
So 1 away, and you will now turn to Max Hartman. In the 3-hole, he looks to start off the count right, and that's a nice pitch. And again, one of those backdoor sliders, and Craze just will not give it to the running Bulldogs here.
Hartman has reached base twice today with a double in the first and getting hit in the second.
And he will kind of maybe make a bunt attempt, pulls it back off the high ball 2. Putnam will look to recover in this account. Here comes the 2-0, kicks and delivers, and that one is in there, low and inside, but it is in there for a strike.
Caught the inside corner there. I don't know if the senior Hartman from Canada was a big fan of that call.
Here's the 2-1, fires it in, and again, looked like the same spot from our vantage point, but will be called a ball this time, and now you've got a 3-1 count, hugely favoring Max Hartman here. This one sent way up into the air, in behind the catcher, back to grab it, makes the catch, but not before running into his third baseman, or should I say his third baseman ran into him. Ilgen Fritz kind of colliding there with Thompson, and a sky-high major league pop-up from Hartman is caught for the second out.
That thing was up there almost long enough to have another conference with the umpires.
Well, hold on a minute, not that long.
But yeah, I thought that was the catcher's ball the whole way, and third baseman almost gave him a little Cam Chancellor shoulder.
A little miscommunication, and communication is very, very important. You learn that during the Little League drills of trying to call one another off. And, of course, from here we can't really know how vocal Zach Thompson was, as the 0-1 is on the outside corner for strike 2, and Ollie Obenauer quickly behind in the count. Putnam trying to come in and relieve Stewart in a big way. The 0-2 way outside into the other batter's box, and a ball 1 here on the count to Obenauer.
As they say in Major League, just a bit outside. Obenauer with 2 lineouts today, a little bit unlucky.
Here's one, and then again, Obenauer fouling that one off toward the right side. And now you've got to wonder, can Putnam have the first strikeout of the game for Gardner-Webb? Gardner-Webb Stewart was not able to K anybody up. And we'll see if he can do it here. Here comes the 1-2 on the outside, and it's in the turf. Ball 2, good eye from Obenauer.
Obenauer trying to get a 2-out rally started as we have Deuces Wild here in the 5th.
Even count the 2s. Obenauer again fouling it off to the left side. The Cougars really just good at putting bat on ball, whether it's a foul ball, whether it's in play, over the wall, whatever it is, they have been really good at it so far. And a 2-2 count, staying alive. This one up. And now a full count. And what an at-bat for Obenauer, just trying to get a 2-out base runner for the Cougars. Here's the 3-2. That one is up, and again, a walk, and the Cougars have a man aboard. Obenauer trots to first, and on comes Dustin Robinson.
Outstanding out bat right there. What a battle from Obenauer to get on base and give the red-hot bat, Dustin Robinson, a chance to deliver here with 2 outs.
6'4", 223 redshirt sophomore. Dustin Robinson again looks to stay hot in this series in particular. 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th, 4-2 Cougar lead, and Obenauer on first base. This one catching a high fastball, swung on and missed for strike 1. Dustin Robinson now getting his first looks at Putnam. Here's the 0-1. That thing had some movement on it, but will fly in and down for the first ball, moving the count to 1-1 here with 2 outs. Putnam not quite pulling a Craig Kimbrell, but will lean in and see his pitch.
On that arm dangle.
He will fire it in there, and Zach Thompson keeping Obenauer honest over there at first base as a low ball creates a 2-1 count and a hitter's count for Dustin Robinson. You don't want to give him anything like to mistake. He has proven that. A home run, 2 doubles yesterday. He's been good today as well. Here's the 2-1, and that one not quite in there, according to Stephen Craze, and a 3-1 count. And you would hate to have back-to-back walks after getting 2 quick outs. That would just ruin all the momentum you've created for yourself if you're Putnam.
Putnam does have 12 walks on the year in 32 innings.
This one fouled again toward Beasley Coliseum, a hot spot for baseballs today. Good thing basketball season's over. They'd be getting a lot of balls hit on top of their arena over there, just across the way. And now a full count with 2 outs. Obenauer on, no one holding him. He will go. This one inside, missed, back-to-back walks. The Cougars stay alive in the bottom of the 5th, and that will bring up Ryan Shonsby.
Definitely some frustration there from Putnam after that last pitch. He, like you said, 2 quick outs and then walk in the 4, walk the 5, and now you bring up the 300 hitter Ryan Shonsby, who's driven in 25 runs this year for the Cougs with an opportunity to add to that total.
And the young man out of Burns High School really going to have to try and navigate this adversity he's put himself in, and another high ball to start the count. And the Cougars already have back-to-back walks. You don't want to walk the bases loaded, especially when you started the inning with 2 outs. Cougars doubling the hit count of Gardner-Webb, 8-4 now. Here's the 1-0. That one inside as well for ball 2.
Obenauer with an aggressive secondary lead out there at second. Wonder if he's considering going for third if he can time this pitcher up.
Here's the 2-0 count and a very good count for the hitter. Favoring Shonsby. Delivery. And that one is smoked. A sky-high ball out, but it is in foul territory and will leave the ballpark there for a 2-1 count and a foul.
We got a kite out in right center field.
How about that?
On the wall, seemingly calling for a homer.
That's been a hot spot today, at least for Gardner-Webb. The 2-1.
Oh,
it's swung on, belted, deep right field. It's gone. How about that? Will, you just called it. Unbelievable. 3-run home run for Shonsby. 7-2. The Cougars extend the lead.
I had to catch myself there. That thing was crushed off the bat. I almost yelled on accident.
Putnam putting himself in a great spot just to give up a 3-run home run. And that's got to be just a tough confidence decreaser right there, without a doubt.
2 quick outs followed by 2 walks, and then that thing might have crossed the border into Idaho right there.
They might be going to retrieve that ball in Moscow without a doubt. And
that
a 1-0 count.
Was tattooed, no doubt about it. Every single person here knew it.
And now a 1-0 is answered with a strike from Putnam. And again, you had the game kind of in. It was 4-2. You had 2 quick outs. You walk 2 guys. You let it get away from you. And then you serve up a home run pitch to Shonsby. And now you're forced to recover, try and get out of the inning. But you went from being down 2 to being down 5 very quickly. And a 2-1 count for Putnam. He will deliver to Dane Chavez, and he will send that one out to left center. Pretty shallow and will be caught by Augusto. And the Bulldogs do get out of the inning, but not before giving up 3 to Washington State here at home. They have a 7-2 lead. When we come back, you're watching KUGR. Don't go away as we head to the 6th.
That 3-run homer with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th has given this stadium some extra juice as we go to the top of the 6th. Griffin Smith will head back out to face the top of the order for the 3rd time with Merritt Carter, Ryan Kennel, and Kelvin Augusto coming up. Merritt Carter, of course, Zach, had that home run over by out to the trees above the Cougars scripture out there in right center field his last at-bat.
Right field has been a hot spot today for home runs. If all 3 have gone over that right field wall, and now, like you mentioned, there's a kite out there, and right after you said that, calling for maybe a ball.
Yeah.
A huge home run hit from Shawnsby. That thing was crushed. And again, like you said, probably past the rec center, and that gave a huge extended lead for the Cougs.
It'll be interesting to see how Griffin Smith attacks Merritt Carter here, who has hit the ball hard twice today, 1 for an out, 1 for a home run. He sets and fires the first pitch of the inning. It is a beautiful pitch to get over the plate and get strike 1.
Establish the zone early on. That's exactly what you want, especially later in the game when your pitchers are a little bit more tired.
Carter, the senior out of Shelbyville, Tennessee, swings away. It's sent to center field. Drifting back on it is Smith. Up on the warning track, he makes the catch. A nice piece of hitting, I guess, but not enough as Smith is able to go track that one down in center as Griffin Smith gives a glove raise and a hat tip to his center fielder, Trevor Smith.
Lots of Smiths. And at least this time it wasn't a Smith at bat there.
It's odd. It's not a common last name either.
Yeah.
The first pitch to Ryan Kennel is a ball. Oh, no, that was a strike. Call that a strike?
I guess.
Strike.
I'd say it's just maybe his first questionable call of the day.
That one looked a little low.
He's done a pretty good job, I think, here.
Graves has done a good job. Pitch number 2 is fired in, swung away. It's a chopper out to short. Routine play for Kyler Northrup, who fires it over a low throw, though. But Shawnsby, the man of the hour, picks that ball like it's a walk in the park.
Yeah, he has been real good today for the Cougars. Obviously, it started kind of with Cam McLeod throwing out a couple guys for the running Bulldogs, but it's quickly shifted from player to player, and now Ryan Shawnsby's probably more your MVP so far today.
You have to lean that way, and if Smith can get a quick out here on Kelvin Augusto, it'll be a quick 1-2-3 inning for Smith. Augusto has flown out to right field twice today, hitting .379 with 3 home runs and 30 RBIs for the Gardner-Webb. So the pitch is fired. Another fly ball out to right field. That one's hit hard. It's over his head, and it leaves the yard. Kelvin Augusto with a 2-out homer off the bat right there. I think the wind has to be doing something there as that ball just carried and carried and carried.
It's got to be. There's, that's the 4th home run of the game. 4 to right field.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly something's going on. But one thing about G-Dub, they are not going away. Not really quite yet. And, I mean, they are still upbeat. They're still celebrating these home runs. They're down 4, but they're not going away, and you can't let them get back in it. And they, with another huge home run and run to be able to kind of take away that first 2-out start to the inning.
3 straight innings with a homer. For them, it's all solo. They need to get guys on base. Swing and a disgusting cut from Matt Ilgenfritz at a Fastball way up and out of the zone, but that's going to be strike one. A good pitch from Smith, who might have a little extra gusto on that pitch, a little anger. That one is lined right to shortstop. A nice play from Kyler Northrup to end the inning. Really solid hit there from Ilgen Fretz. But Northrup is right there to make the play as we will go to the bottom of the sixth. Your score, Cougars 7, Gardner-Webb 3. Back here in the bottom of the sixth here at Bailey Brayton Field as Colby Putnam will head back out to take the mound again for Gardner-Webb. Interesting the choice by the coaching staff with a fully rested bullpen. They go to their long reliever here, and despite a rough fifth inning for him, they are going to stick with him here.
Yeah, and the young man, I guess, maybe will learn a bit about adversity here because you had a great start. You had 2 outs. Everything was going your way. Then you walk back to back, and then you give up an absolute shot from Ryan Shonsby. You get out of the inning, but you get put back in here. You reset. Your guys have your back. They get a home run for you.
Strike one to start off the inning from Putnam.
Of course, last inning, Augusto, the transfer from Alabama State, hit one over the wall.
Oh, a filthy wave and a miss there from McLeod. It's a great pitch from Putnam. McLeod is 2 for 2 today. 2 singles. He's scored 1 run and had 2 ribbies. So quite the day for the catcher getting a shot today. The pitch number 3 is ripped down the line, but it's going to tail foul.
That thing would have been an easy double if that thing caught anywhere fair.
From what looked like a lost swing in that second pitch, he was on that one, as that one's way up and outside for ball 1. 1-2 count here to McLeod. McLeod, a junior from our neighbors in the north, but he gets K'd up looking right there. Not a big fan of that call, but Stephen Craze is his first mark on the game with a strikeout looking.
Yeah, first strikeout of the game for Gardner-Webb. Putnam able to make it happen. And again, another good start for him. Getting it out early on, just has to be able to finish the inning. But so far, 1 out. Cougars still up 7-3 here in the bottom of the 6th.
The first pitch to Northrup is over for a strike.
Good movement there.
That was a very nice slider, it looked like. Northrup settling in. He's 1 for 2 today. He has a double. That one's going to miss outside, though, from Putnam. Putnam is working at a very quick pace here. Maybe the wind's a little chilly out there.
That it could be.
Putnam misses way outside, but Northrup squared to bunt there for a bit. Pulls it back, so it is a ball, as it looks like the wind has actually kind of disappeared here for a minute. The flag is at a standstill, and the kite is gone. Northrup swings, pops this one up. A fan's going to get a souvenir here as it hits 3 rows from the back of the section. No one really made an effort for it. We had a dad protect a baby and a mom protect a dog, though, in the vicinity. Probably priorities, I guess.
No one was barking to get that ball.
The 2-2 delivery here from Putnam. It is going to be swung at and fouled back. Good piece of defensive hitting right there from Kyler Northrup. Got to
Again,
protect with 2 strikes, right, Zach?
of course. And again, the Cougars only 1 strikeout. It was last at bat. They have been really good at just making contact.
Well said. The 2-2 pitch, that's taken and a little high shot. Or Trays does not give him the benefit of the doubt on that pitch. And the count goes full here. Kyler Northrup looking to set up the top of the order with a base runner. The 3-2 pitch, it is hit the other way on a line, but it's going to hang up for the right fielder. Thad Ector settles under it, makes a catch. Kind of looked like he didn't really move much. I thought it might drop down in front of him, but that is not the case.
And again, it looks like the wind did pick up a little bit there, so you wonder if it got carried a little bit out more than you thought out to right field. And just obviously nice and easy routine catch there.
Unfortunate timing in the at-bat there for Northrup. The wind dies down. That might drop in for a hit. Trevor Smith swinging away, fouls it off his shin. A little painful there probably for Smith coming off the hamstring injury. But back in the lineup today for the Cougs, stud freshman. Really big to get him back. Out of El Cajon, California, Granite Hills High School. That ball spikes into the dirt and skips away from the catcher to even the count at 1-1. 2 outs here for the Cougs in the bottom of the 6th. Looking to see if they can get another 2-out rally going off Putnam. Did it last inning, right, Zach?
Been there before for sure.
That one misses up and out from Putnam.
Last inning, we saw Ryan Shawnsby's 4th home run of the year.
It's Putnam. I know, quick working. Delivers again, and that one's going to be taken high, sending it to a 3-1 count. Real hitter's moment right here for Trevor Smith. He's flown out to left field 3 times today. One was a sac fly, so productive, but maybe a little late on the ball in his first game back. And Gardner-Webb not going to get the call on that fastball. Looked like it caught the plate, so must have been a little high, according to home plate umpire Stephen Craze. And Zach, we might have a pattern developing here. 2 quick outs and a walk. I've seen this movie before. Can the Cougs do it again?
Yeah, same movie, different actors here. I mean, at least from the Cougars standpoint, you still got Putnam throwing, but a different point in the lineup here.
Gavin Roy settles in and takes a strike. Strike 1. The Cougs are definitely looking to take longer at-bats here off of Putnam than they were off Stewart. They were jumping on Stewart, not really giving him a chance to get into the late counts. As Smith gets a healthy lead, it does not get checked, and it's a chopper played by Ilfengritz, who's in on the grass, snags it, throws it over, and that will retire the side. 5-3 to do that for the inning, and we will head to the 7th. The Cougs up 7-3. You're listening to WSU Baseball on KUGR.
Back for the 7th inning, a half inning shy of the stretch, and the Cougars have thrown out a new bump. We will see now from the relief pitcher, Caden Wickersham, the redshirt senior, standing at 6'2", 200 pounds, will look to come in and to help the Cougars stave off the running Bulldogs as they are up 7-3 here as we begin the 7th inning at the Palouse Bailey Brayton Field. And stepping in, Anthony Hausner.
Wickersham has been solid this year with a 4.35 ERA.
That one is out, it looks like, for ball one.
12 appearances for Wickersham, 10 innings. He's had a little bit of problem with the walks. 8 walks, 9 innings. Will be important to limit those today.
And here's a chopper to left side, and that one will just be in foul territory. Anthony Hausner now faces a 1-1 count, and Wickersham trying to get ahead early.
Hausner transferring in from the Citadel.
1-1 count. Here's the give, and got him swinging. What a beautiful pitch. Lots of movement there from Wickersham, and that'll make this a 1-2 count. Again, we haven't seen a lot of strikeouts today on either side of things. One coming here. Here's the kick and deliver. Fouled again by Hausner.
Hausner barely catching a piece of that one. Just fouling it off after pulling it behind home plate. So the Coug pitchers have done a good job of getting into good counts, but not so good of a job of finishing those off with strikeouts. Let's see if Wickersham can change that.
The OKC native, 1-2 again, fires. That one hit second base. Is he on it? Makes the play again. The throw to first, well off, and that will definitely go in as a hit. That's a tough play to make, and Anthony Hausner has started things off right for the Bulldogs, and a running Bulldog himself beats that out to first base.
Yeah, Roy really had no chance to make that play. He was shifted over a little with the lefty up, and a short dribbler kind of barely to the right of second base, right about where the umpire's standing. That's a tough play to make, even on a slower runner.
I think I know who the Bark in the Park volunteers are rooting for here. Lots of barking I hear going on right now after the Bulldogs just got a man aboard. They might be rooting for the visitors here tonight at Bailey Brayton.
We have a pinch runner in at first as Ethan Rosso has come in to replace Anthony Hausner.
And so now you'll get Daniel Smith against Wickersham. And here's a ball in the dirt, gets away, and that will move the runner from first to second. That ball right into Cam McLeod's stomach and then popped up in behind. And a good, really good start to the inning here for Gardner-Webb against a new pitcher.
You said it earlier. They really just do not want to go away. Like a pesky mosquito here for the Cougs as we come into the summertime.
So we are getting into that season. They could be coming out a little early here, almost mid-April. Again, Wickersham delivers, and that one almost getting away again. You got to wonder what's going on with Cam McLeod, and all of a sudden he's not seeing the ball as well as he normally did, and he will take the time to run this out to the pitcher and have a few words.
This is a good mound visit. Gotta love that. Take the time, reset, calm it down, get back in the groove. Really smart use of a mound visit right here from Cam McLeod.
You obviously see things are not necessarily the wheels are falling off or anything, but definitely a little bit of a rocky part, a kind of a pothole, if you will, hit there as the new catching partner for Cam McLeod and him not on the same page just yet. Then a 2-0 count here to Smith. Fires that one. Smith hit that one. A high fly ball, shallow left field. Being called off there was the Washington State shortstop Northrup, and it is caught there by Robinson for the first out of the inning.
We have a pinch hitter here as redshirt senior utility man Ethan Lyau from Dublin, California will step in to hit for Thad Ector. Interesting that the Gardner-Webb is choosing to go righty-righty here instead of righty-lefty.
That is true. The OO will start off with a chopped foul ball toward the Cougar bench area there, and then that one ends up in the dugout. And an 0-1, a good start for Wickersham. And again, of course, facing a new batter. An 0-1 count with one away. in the top of the 7th. A 7-3 lead for the Cougars, and that one not quite in there, according to Craze. He will leave that one, I believe, up, and will be another ball here. Ones across the board. Wickersham looks back and now delivers, and that check swing. Home plate umpire Craze is going to call it no need to appeal.
Dale Luker was ready. Didn't get the opportunity there down at first base. No doubt about it, he went there. Lyle's hitting 260 on the year. No homers, 7 RBIs, 360 on base.
If there's anything he's learned, it's to be ready. He's been called upon a lot. Luker has been over at first base, and this one is away into the other batter's box for a 2-2 count. Obviously, you still have a man aboard in behind you at second.
On deck is Zach Thompson, who's 2 for 2 today. So you're a really big at bat to get this second out right here.
Here's one chop back to the pitcher. Wickersham has a dilemma, but gets it over to first to make the out and keeping the runner at second base. That's a good play by him. Looks him back and is still able to make the play at first. Still has time to do that. And a huge second out, like you said, with Zach Thompson coming up.
Smart play there from Wickersham. Looked like he could have taken a risk and tried to get the guy on second, caught in a little bit of a no man's land, but just looks him back to the base, throws it over, takes the out, and will attack Zach Thompson here with 2 outs.
And now you've got, again, 2 away for the Cougars, just shy of the 7th inning stretch. Here's the stretch itself, and that will end up being a foul ball for strike 1.
That was a massive, massive cut from Zach Thompson, who is slamming his bat on the ground. I think that one might have clipped an ankle.
Yeah, he might have gotten a piece of that. Not even talking about the bat. That might have got off of his leg there. A 0-1 count, he will be behind.
Yeah, he calls time. He needs a minute to walk this off. I must have hit that ankle. He's got the brace on it, the guard. Mm-hmm. But I think it might have hit a little behind the guard, almost on that backside Achilles part of that ankle, which probably means his ankle's doing a little bit of a buzz.
The only thing more painful than getting hit is getting hit and swinging. You don't get it your way. You get it doubled down. It's a strike, and swings and misses on this one now for an 0-2.
Big moment for Wickersham. See if he can close this out with a strikeout to send this one to the 7th inning stretch.
Here's the 0-2. We'll see if he can do it. Wickersham delivers, and that one again, passed ball. That one well in the turf, spiked and up and over the shoulders of Cam McLeod. And now the runner moves to third base. And so a 1-2 count presented upon us here, Bailey Brink, in the 7th inning, just trying to get out. And they need one more pitch, essentially, to get out of this inning. Again, 1 out away. Wickersham calms himself down and will look. 1-2, fires it. It is not quite there for Craze. Had the old whole infield jumping. They thought he had rung him up, but not quite.
Great pitch, though, on a 1-2 count there from Wickersham. And an even better eye from Thompson.
Wickersham again. Calms himself down, deals and fires. Another pass ball, loose ball, throwing it to the plate. And that one was errant, and he will score. And the lead and deficit has been cut to 3. It is now 7-4, and yet another inning with a run scored. We have not had a scoreless inning since inning 2.
That is the 3rd wild pitch of the inning here for Wickersham. He's going to catch the blame for all these, but McLeod is seemingly struggling to keep the ball in front of him.
Now a full count, 2 away, and that again in the dirt. And you almost wonder if you want a mound visit here, only because he wild pitched the runner all the way around the bases, quite literally.
Quite literally, station by station around the bases, and then that would have been another wild pitch right there, but it was ball 4. And yep, you called it, Zach. Nathan Choate is going to stroll out from the dugout and signal down to the bullpen, and that's going to do it for Wickersham here in the 7th.
Yeah, and then a very kind of short-lived moment for him on the mound. And we will get someone now from the Cougar bullpen to relieve here in the top of the 7th. 2 away, couldn't quite get that 3rd out, and a run given up on third wild pitch again, like you mentioned. But we will now go to break, and we will be back with you shortly. 7-4, the Cougars have the lead. 2 outs in the top of the 7th here at the Palouse. You're watching Wazoo Baseball on KUGR. Here we are back at the Palouse, top of the 7th, 2 away, and we'll get Trevor Stowe, the relief pitcher for the Cougars and redshirt junior from Buffalo, Wyoming, the ultimate Josh Allen guy, obviously from being from Buffalo and, of course, Wyoming, where Josh Allen went to college in a transfer from College of the Desert. Business economics major, starting off correctly in an 0-1 count.
In 12 innings this year, Stowe has an 8 ERA.
This one again.
That is filthy.
Good pitch from him, able to get him to chase, and now quickly it's an 0-2 count.
Can he be the one to secure a strikeout?
Alan Camarillo, a 308 batting average on the year coming into this game. The junior down 0-2 and a pickoff move back toward first base. Nothing comes of that. And now the 0-2 again. Only 2 successful pickoffs here for the Cougars this season. Another 0-2. Big sigh and the release. And this one grounded to the left side. Diving play can't be made, and it's fumbled further into the outfield. And the inning continues for G-Dub. They just quite won't go away.
They won't go away. You said it, man. It's been a theme of the last 4 innings here. Is they've scored 1 in each of the last 4. I think that one's going to be a hit, though. I don't know if there was really a play to be made there with Camarillo's speed.
That was tough. It was between third and short. And just a well-placed poke, and now you've got 2 outs. And Gardner-Webb back to the top of the order. Merrick Carter right back in the box, and this one in the dirt, but picked this time by Cam McLeod, stopping a wild pitch or a pass ball.
Carter, the DH today, the senior, normally a shortstop, gotten a day off the legs, and he's hit his 7th homer of the year. Has a chance to tie the game here.
If he can get another, he will indeed tie this one up, and this is a ball now, and it's 2-0 quickly. And again, you don't want to walk him either, because then you walk the bases loaded for Ryan Cannell, who's batting .325 coming into this game. You're just 1 out away from getting out of the inning and out of the jam. And the tying run at the plate, bat on the shoulder, the 2-0. This one hit right side. Can he make the play to second? They got him. The Cougars get out of the inning. A great defensive play from Roy, and he'll shove it over to second, and they get out of the jam. But not before going through a pitcher and giving up a run. 7-4, Cougars still clinging to a 3-run lead. when we come back. You're watching Wazoo Baseball on KUGR.
Welcome back to Cougar Baseball after that 7th inning stretch. The heart of the order is coming up here for the Cougs. Max Hartman, Ollie Obenauer, and Dustin Robinson. Putnam remains in for the Runnin' Bulldogs. Max Hartman today with a double, got hit by a pitch, and then a pop out to the catcher in his last at-bat, looking to get back to the earlier ways.
Need some insurance runs here if you're the Cougars.
No amount of insurance is too much. Especially after we saw them almost below Tuesday's game against Oregon State. That is smoked, but it's going to go foul. Hit a long way down the line.
That would have been a home run if it were in between the foul poles. It was well right of right fields.
The wind has, again, died down to nothing as Putnam sends in pitch number 3. It's outside. He's going to appeal down to third, and Joseph Finley says, no, he does not. Ball 2. 2-1 on Hartman.
These field umps have been busy today, I'll tell you that.
Hartman, the senior from Alberta, Canada. Swings, chops that one left side. It's going to be a tough play for the shortstop. He makes a strong throw. It's offline, and Hartman's going to beat that out. I think they're going to give him a single there, as that was a chopping ball away from the shortstop. Pretty impossible play.
Yeah, I think unless you're Derek Jeter, you're probably not making that play.
I think Colt Emerson makes that play.
Yeah,
Call him
could
up.
be.
Call him up.
Maybe not JP.
Maybe not JP. This brings up Ollie Obenauer. Couple of lineouts, but he walked and came around to score in that 2-out rally in the 5th. Looking to get a 0-out rally started here. A pickoff attempt as Hartman dives back safely. Hartman definitely a threat on the bases. Definitely the biggest threat for the Cougs. 11 for 12 on the season, including 1 today.
I think Dale Luker's counting.
He's got to be. As Obenauer gets a nice bunt down, the pitcher is going to go to second and barely beat the speedy Hartman. That was a ballsy play from Putnam. Could have backfired and really put himself in a pickle right there.
But what a throw. That thing just beat Hartman, who was sliding into second. It definitely looked like it from up here that he got beat, but wow, what a play, what a throw, and a heads up to just know the scenario and get an out, and not only an out, but the lead runner.
1 out, and runner on first. It's Obenauer now, bringing up Dustin Robinson, the man of the game, and he rips one down the line. It's going to hook foul, though, as the wind has picked right back up. It's a gusty day, or a gusty evening, I should say, here on the Palouse.
Wind might be against the Cougars right now. I feel like it's worked against them in a lot of ways, other than the very first inning when you had that questionable call on Ryan Cannell.
Dustin Robinson, of course, 2 doubles in that homer last night, scored the winning run. Can he do something here? A pickoff as Obenauer dives back safely. Whoever is doing the laundry for the Cougs tonight is going to have a lot of turf stains to get out, because pretty much anyone that's been on base has been tried to get picked off here about 2 or 3 times.
You got a target on your front and on your back over there if you're on first.
0-1 count. Putnam fires in. It's low for ball 2 as Dustin Robinson has put himself in a nice at-bat here.
All these pickoff attempts and none have worked for either side.
That one is in for a strike, making the count 2-1 here.
That's a beautiful pitch. Now 1 strike away from putting himself at a 2-out scenario. Putnam just trying to keep his team in this game.
Oh, 1-2 count. Must have called a different one. Unless the scoreboard's wrong. That one's outside. Catcher flirted with a throw behind the first baseman there, but just a pump fake. The count evens at 2-2. 1 out, runner on first for Robinson. Walked and scored his last time. Another pickoff. Definitely getting some reps calling some pickoffs.
You can probably call it 1,000 different ways by the end of this game.
2-2 to Robinson. Putnam eyes him down, raises his leg and fires. It's way upstairs. Ball 3, full count. Big moment here for the Cougs. Can Robinson get on base and spark another rally? Or will Putnam win this battle and get Gardner-Webb right on the brink of getting out of this inning? Another pickoff. Obenauer, 0 stolen base attempts on the season, but we have seen 4 pickoff attempts this at bat.
I don't think Dale Luker's going to need to hit shoulders tomorrow.
No kidding. The pitch, swing and a miss, and he's stealing on cue, and he is out at second base. Strike him out, throw him out. Obenauer on his first attempt of the season is unsuccessful. And that is going to do it here in the 7th inning, as what seemed like a big inning brewing falls apart quickly for the Cougs, as Gardner-Webb might have the momentum here as we're going to head to the 8th. You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR. Welcome back to Bailey Brayton Field as we head to the 8th. The clock is ticking on this game. The Cougs have a 7-4 lead, and there's a new pitcher in the game. Rylan Hyder, the Cougs' most used reliever. Nathan Choate's go-to guy. 16 appearances, a 6.63 ERA. He is 3-0 on the season in 19 innings. He will be up to face the 2, 3, and 4 heart of the order for the Runnin' Bulldogs. Ryan Cannell, Kelvin Agosto, and Matt Ilgenfritz. This feels like a massive turning point in the game, Zach.
No kidding. And I mean, the Cougars coming into this game have allowed about 25 unearned runs on the year, which is pretty unacceptable when looking at it from that standpoint. And again, definitely more today after the wild pitches that we saw in the last inning. Got to be able to lock it down here in the last couple of innings.
First pitch is fouled away by Kennel. That one's in there for strike 2.
Heck of a start here. That's a great start.
Getting the first out of this inning would be huge for Hyder. The delivery, it's low. It's swung the other way. A nice play by Scosby. He's going to have to beat him to the bag. Someone's going to have to beat him. It's the pitcher Hyder, and he makes it there before the speedy Ryan Kennel to retire him as the first out of the inning. For a second, I didn't know if Hyder was going to make it over there.
I thought Shawnsby was going to have enough time, but I didn't realize how much speed Kennel had there. He made it a difficult play. But nonetheless, a great out to get for the Cougars. One away here, and now you've got arguably G-Dub's best here at the plate.
Kelvin Agosto hitting .379, leading the team with 31, or not, actually, if it's 32 RBIs. 31 RBIs on the year.
Hit his 4th home run in this game as well.
The transfer from Alabama State takes ball 1, and he'll take ball 2 as well. A good hitter's count for him. It's huge to get that first out, though, for the Cougs. Not giving Augusto a runner on as he's doing some little twitching down there in his batting stance. Soto shuffle-esque as Hyder's going to get the call in the outside corner there. A huge call from home plate umpire Stephen Craze, changing that from what could have been 3-0 to now 2-1 and getting Hyder back in the at-bat. Hyder sends another one in. It's fouled off into the dugout on a line. Watch out down there. As Hyder seemingly had Augusto fooled there, do you think? That coming across the sidearm motion from the right side, almost like it's coming from behind him.
Absolutely.
Because that ball was outside.
I think the sidearm motion is just so hard to read sometimes. It's such an advantage for pitchers.
The 2-2 delivery. Oh, good pitch. Does not get the call, though. Check swing, but did not go. And this count is run full.
Grace says it was in the penthouse. A little too high.
More and more sidearmers you're seeing these days. The full count. Hyder sets, rises, delivers. It is sent the other way, and it is going to get down fair. 2-hop the wall, kick to the right fielder. Now it's kicking away from the right fielder. Augusto probably could have had third, but he pulls up second with a 1-out double. Do you think he could have got to third there? That off the side fence away from Max Hartman out there. And he was at second when he picked that ball up.
I think so. His third base coach was giving him the stoplight, though. He was giving him the red light. Maybe didn't quite trust it. Maybe he trusts more in his team behind him now to make something happen with the double. You're obviously still in scoring position, just 180 feet away from home plate. But, of course, now that G-Dub just not going away. They're so relentless. They just keep at it. They've gotten 1 run in the last 4 innings each, and they look to now maybe get more and try and tie this game up down 3 still.
It feels inevitable that the Cougs are going to need another run here, as a beautiful pitch from Hyder over the plate for strike 1. It looks like he might have moved over on the rubber there, a little towards third base. Now he's back towards the middle a little more, as the third baseman, Matt Ilgenfritz, is up today. He is 1 for 3. Chops it back up the middle. It's going to be a play for Roy, the second baseman. Pretty routine play for the guy that's played a lot of shortstop for the Cougs.
Yeah, and that, I mean, again, although that's not what you want, it's an out at the end of the day, but it does a little bit of a job for G-Webb here. They get a guy 90 feet away, and now you bring a new batter up and to try and see if he can maybe cut this lead to 2.
It's going to be Drew Ripepi hitting here for Ethan Rosso, who came in that 7th inning as a pinch runner.
Now a mound visit as well for the Cougars. They're going to talk about this and try and scheme something with 2 outs. Again, up 3 runs here, 4 outs away from the win and the series clincher.
Ripepi is no easy out, as he, in 78 plate appearances, hitting .321, 4 homers, 47 slug, and a .465 on base, as well as 4 for 4 stolen bases. This guy can really do it all. This is going to be a massive at-bat, as Nathan Cho is going to signal down, and we're going to get a new Cougar pitcher here, as Rylan Hayter's day is done.
Short leash for these relief pitchers on the Wazoo side. Definitely much shorter leash than we saw from G. Webb. And we will get now another relief, and the dugout will come out to greet him as well.
Coming in to pitch, it will be number 15, Scott Ringetti, the redshirt junior from the country up north. He closed that game out against Oregon State on Tuesday. That massive win against number 7 ranked Oregon State, which could be a really big turning point in how the Cougs finish off this season and potentially catapult themselves into first place in the Mountain West.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, looking at the last 3 games, a huge 18-0 loss to Oregon State in the first one. Then they bounce back and have a massive upset, win 7-6. And then obviously yesterday's win over G. Webb 3-2. They're trying to go on a little bit of a streak here, but they are not going to close it out just yet. They've still got 4 outs to go. They have a 3-run lead, but Gardner-Webb is just not going away. They're not going to go down without a fight. And the Cougars now, through quite a few here, relief pitchers, and again, not really forgiving of their relief pitchers.
Ringetti has been pretty good this year for the Cougs with a 4.86 ERA in 11 appearances, 16 innings, and playing sort of a closer role with 3 saves on the year, including that one on Tuesday.
Like you said, here comes Repepe, who 6'2", 225. He is going to be a tough out, but a big one if the Cougars can kind of slam the door on this opportunity. 2 outs, all you need is 1, and you can reset a little bit and go up and bat in the bottom of the 8th.
The Pittsburgh transfer steps into the box. Foot on the back line. Ringetti sets, brings his glove up, and fires home. It's sent the other way to right field. It's drifting back. Hartman, right before the warning track, settles under it, makes the catch, retires the side. Ringetti, that's how you get it done, isn't it, Zach? 1 pitch, 1 out, get out of the inning. Exactly what Nathan Choate wanted right there from his reliever.
What more can you ask for? What
Nothing
more?
much. We will head to the bottom of the 8th. The Cougs still leading 7-4. You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR. Welcome back to Cougar Baseball here in Pullman as the Cougs are holding on to a relentless Gardner-Webb team. They are up 7-4. Some defensive changes for the Gardner-Webb Bulldogs as Matt Ilgenfritz moves from 3rd to 1st, and Drew Repepe, who just pinch hit, will fill in at 3rd base for the running Bulldogs.
Inning here for the Cougars. If you can try and get some more insurance runs, of course, you're up 3. Confident in pitching right now. 1 pitch, 1 out. All you needed to do there. But now you have an opportunity to extend that lead and really put G-Dub out of the misery here.
As Colby Putnam will head out for another inning of relief. He's gone 3 innings, given up 3 runs, but he settled in nicely the last 2 innings. No runs for him. Cougs also hold off Gardner-Webb from scoring a run for the first time since the 3rd inning. The first pitch is a strike into Ryan Sconsby. Sconsby, of course, hit that towering home run over the right field fence. That one is low and inside, though, and evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
And that home run is currently our exact difference in this game.
It is. The delivery, it's hit back up the middle on a chopper. Going to be a tough play for the shortstop. He ranges to it behind second and makes the throw to retire Sconsby. A nice play from the shortstop there for Gardner-Webb.
A heck of a play. Camarillo able to make that happen. He has 12 errors on the year, but not another one there. He makes it happen. Way to get over and make that throw.
Coming up to the plate. It's going to be a pinch hitter for Dane Chavez. Dane Chavez's day is done at DH. And freshman from Sammamish, Washington, Mason Perello will be coming into the game. He has been good for the Cougs this year and has a moment right now.
Win back on there in right field.
Perello hitting 276. He's got 1 homer, 360 on base. A very solid start to his collegiate career. He takes strike 1, though. Is in an 0-1 hole. Fouls that one off. A little late on that. Sent it a long way, but not the right way. And is now down in an 0-2 hole early into his day. Barely got his feet settled in the box, and Putnam fires home, and it is fouled off. A little inside, but protecting swing, fouled off by Perello. He stays alive to see one more pitch. You think Putnam's going to close this one out?
It's hard to say. I think he will. I mean, you've got a good count here. You're a couple outs away. And, I mean, more than likely, Cougars will close it out in the 9th, of course, if things all go to plan. But even if it comes to a bottom of the 9th scenario, I do not think we will see Putnam.
Putnam misses high on 2 consecutive pitches to even the count at 2-2. Here's the pitch. It's skied to center field. Routine fly ball. Settling under it is Smith, and he nonchalantly makes that catch. The junior outfielder from Cumming, Georgia.
I will say, someone who had always had trouble with fly balls, they make it look so easy out there, but that ball does got some movement, especially when the American flag out and right is blowing like crazy.
Up to the plate is Cam McLeod. 2 for 3 on the day. He does have the only Cougar strikeout, though. Still having a great game, and he takes ball 1. Putnam fires in. That's way outside for ball 2. A 2-0 count here with 2 outs. Can Cam McLeod get another 2-out rally started?
Same old story we've seen before.
He skies one. Shallow center. Coming in is Smith. Settles under it and makes the catch on a shallow fly out. That'll end the 8th for the Cougs. No runs, no hits, no errors. And we head to the 9th. Will Ringget come out, or will it be a new pitcher? It looks like Ringet's going to come back out. He will look to get the save when we come back. You're listening to Cougar Baseball on KUGR.
Back for the top of the 9th, 7-4. The Cougars have the lead, looking to close out the game. And it will be, again, Scott Ringget coming back onto the hill. He has only 1 pitch, and it wasn't out to right field. What more can you ask of him? He will come back out and look to close the game for the Cougars and the series, essentially. Despite a game tomorrow, it would clinch the series win over and get them to 500 finally, and they haven't been there since the very, very start of the year.
With August Ritchie closing out yesterday's game, it's not a surprise that Choate sticks with his other closer to get this one.
Not at all here, and we will go triple O's across the board to start in a 1-ball pitch immediately for Ringget, officially up to 2 pitches on his pitch count.
Daniel Smith is 0 for 2, but he does have a walk. He did get caught stealing, but could be a great guy to lead off the inning for Gardner-Webb.
Here's one hit right side. A great diving play. Got a piece of it, but not enough. And a huge leadoff hit for G. Webb. And they make it happen on a hit to the right side. Unable to make that defensive play there was Roy.
We saw Ringget have a little bit of a scare against Oregon State on Tuesday. Could be flirting with another one here on this Friday evening.
No doubt about that. Ethan Lau now going to come in and a hit here for Hector. Here's one on the inside. Again, 2 in for Craze's liking. It'll be a 1-0 count to start, and G-Webb has to be still up. They have to believe they can win this game because they just haven't ever gotten away from it. A 1-0 count here at the delivery. Inside again, almost catching Lau. Possibly his elbow there, but it will be now a 2-0 count.
Lau pinch hit for Thad Hector in right field in the 7th. He grounded out to the pitcher. He does have a 2-0 count here. It'll be interesting to see if Smith on first tries to steal second base.
He will hold off, but the 2-0 is now a delivery and a pitch and a strike. 2-1 the count now from Ringget. And G-Webb continues really to struggle on the road. 4-11 this year on the road. They're trying to make something happen out of this here at the Palouse. 2-1. Is there a miracle for them in order? This one shot to the right side, but foul well into the mesh. Thankful for the mesh should be the fans over there on the first base side. And a 2-2 count with a runner on.
Wow, a redshirt senior, a guy with a lot of experience. Type of guy you want up in this moment.
Obviously, ideally, the bottom of the order is what you want up for the Cougs. Here's the 2-2. That thing down the middle. Got him. Backwards, K. And Lau will strut off to the dugout. It's 1 away for the Cougars, and they're 2 away from a series clincher.
Big strikeout there for Ringget. Not only do you get an out, but you allow no advancement of the runner, keeping a potential game-ending double play in order here as Zach Thompson will come up to the plate. He is 2 for 2 and has a walk. He has not gotten out today. Can the Cougs change that?
Some might say he's possibly due to get out. The baseball odds do say so. And this one is a little bit outside for ball 1. He has been easily their most consistent player at the plate tonight.
I'll tell you what, Smith was in no threat to steal there. His hands were on his knees. They are again.
Maybe not quite a base threat. Maybe not quite as much as the rest of his teammates.
You got to think that getting caught earlier in that game, in that second inning, might be restricting them from sending him again.
Now 1-1 count across the board. Did he go? Home plate umpire Steve Craze says he did. And it will be now a 1-2 count. Not exactly what you want if you're Zach Thompson here. And 1 strike away from having the second out of the inning.
Can Ringget get back-to-back Ks?
Ringget, not a lot of Ks today. Looking for back-to-back. This one flew out to shallow. I beg your pardon. That's like middle right center. This will be run down and caught. Tagging up, maybe not quite. Will hold off.
Of a tag.
Was Smith trying to maybe deke the outfielders there, but it will be an easy grab. Out number 2, and the Cougars are officially 1 away from the win.
Camarillo, the 9-hitter, will come up to bat. He singled in his last at-bat. He's going to need to find a way to get on here if Gardner-Webb wants to have a chance.
Got to get on base here. Maybe have an opportunity for Merritt Carter to pull off some magic. He's done it today already and hit a home run to essentially tie the game.
If you're the Cougs, you got to get Camarillo here. You do not want Merritt Carter coming up as the tying run.
Don't want any opportunity. 10-9 and hits Cougars lead. Here's one down the middle again. Got him swinging, and now the Cougars 1 strike away.
1 strike away from 500, 1 strike away from a series win. They can taste it here at Bailey Brayton.
0-2 count. 2 away in the ninth. 7-4 they lead. Here's the throw. That one sent out to left center field. Is it going to be caught? It's chased down by Smith. Inning over. Game over. Series winner for the Cougars. They come out on top against Gardner-Webb, winning at 7-4. They've got another one tomorrow night against Gardner-Webb, but the series win is in the bag. They have done it, and they are 500 on the year officially at 17 all.
A great win for the Cougs. Saw just really a team win, I say. Between innings 3 and 5 is when they got all their damage done. And from then on, it was just up to the bullpen to shut this one down, and they did just that.
A little bit of kind of a game 7 scenario almost. It looked like all hands on deck. They were, I think that's, like you said yesterday, they didn't have to use very much. So that's probably where it came from.
Cougs had a fully rested bullpen, allowing them to pretty much do whatever they pleased and use as many guys as they wanted, as they still have a great chunk of their bullpen fully rested or on very little work going into the series finale tomorrow, where Luke Meyer will most likely get the start for the Cougs, looking to get above 500 for the first time since game 1 when they beat Alabama.
That would be nice for them, and at least kind of going into the latter half of the season to get back above 500 and keep moving themselves up in the ranks, obviously being chased by Air Force as they are the number 4 team in the conference. But that will do it here from Bailey Brayton Field, a 7-4 win from the Cougars here at home. They win game 2 and are up in the series 2-0. They will continue with another game tomorrow against Gardner-Webb. But that will do it here tonight from Bailey Brayton. Thank you all for joining us here on KUGR. If you like what you're seeing, please subscribe and help us out on the YouTube channel as well. I'm Zach McFarlane, joined by Will Arthur. We thank you for joining us tonight, and good night from the Palouse and Bailey Brayton Field and a Cougar win of 7-4. Good night, all.